This is a true story taken from an actual medical file.
15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil is done for the rest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
Treasure Island may seem a long way from the quiet, clinical order of a doctor's waiting room, but this evening I want to tell you about a man whose career spanned both the world of medicine and the life of a buccaneer. The amazing Dr. Dover.
Medical File. Factual stories of the men and women whose vigilance guards our lives. A reconstruction of clinical case histories, step by step with the doctors who were there. Medical File.
Before we actually meet Dr. Dover, we must take a look at the state of medicine during the 18th century. And a very good example of the terrifying state of affairs could be found at Versailles. Although this was the palace of Louis XIV, illness and death were a constant reality. The hazards to human life in those days were childbirth for women, battle for men, babyhood, and smallpox for everybody. Smallpox patients were regularly bled, and generally they died. Infant mortality was appalling.
Well, you've seen the child. What is your opinion?
Your Majesty, your son is very ill.
I can see that for myself. My wife has borne 7 children, and only 2 are still alive. I know when a child is ill. What I want to know is, can you save him?
Sire, the flux will drain him unless we stop it.
How?
It does not respond to normal methods of bleeding and purging, and so, with your permission, I'd like to try something new.
The child will die if you don't try this new method?
Yes, sire.
Very well. Try it. Try anything but save my son.
And so, with grave misgivings, the Swiss physician Helvetius tried his new cure. It worked. The child's dysentery was halted, and Louis XIV was overjoyed.
Helvetius, your cure, it worked.
Yes, sire.
Name anything, and you shall have it.
I leave that to you, sire. Reward me in the way you think best.
Very well, I shall. There's something else I want to know. What was in that cure you gave my son?
I'm afraid that is a secret, sire.
Is it? Well, it cannot remain a secret. Helvetius, I will double your reward if you will tell me what was in that potion.
Sire, we doctors prefer to keep our remedies secret.
Don't argue with me, Helvetius. I want to know what was in that remedy, and I will know. Every doctor must be able to use it.
Very well, sire. The main ingredients, the one which cured your son, is ipecacuanha.
Strange name. What is it?
A medicine which comes from South America. Apparently the Indians of Brazil use it to cure stomach ailments. It is new to Europe.
Ipecacuanha. Helvetius, you and your cure shall be made famous.
So King Louis paid Helvetius a vast sum of money for his secret remedy and made it generally known. However, the use doctors made of the new drug was a poor acknowledgment of the king's generosity. It was regarded as a cure-all and prescribed for complaints for which it had no value. It was given in excess, on the principle that if a medicine was good in a certain quantity, it must be twice as good, given twice the amount, and then produced serious effects. And so the drug became unpopular with responsible physicians. My story now moves to London, where, during the second half of the 18th century, there was practicing a remarkable physician. His name was Thomas Sydenham. At the time when we first meet him, he had 2 students, Hans Sloane and Thomas Dover.
No, you two. You, Thomas, and you, Hans, have asked to be allowed to study with me. Well, I accept you as my students, and I will teach you what I know. But there are one or two things that you must understand before we begin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Our knowledge of disease is pitifully small. We work in the midst of a morass of fear and misunderstanding. People often believe that we are more like magicians who can work a miracle than men of science. Mm-hmm. Gentlemen, we can work no miracles, and we must never promise them to our patients. Neither must we be hasty in our diagnosis or our treatment. I say to you, gentlemen, that there is only one way of determining the patient's disease, and that is by a careful and detailed study of the symptoms. Wow. You examine thoroughly, watch carefully, and keep meticulous notes of what you see.
Yes, sir.
And make sure that you record neither more nor less than you observe.
But when we've recorded the symptoms, sir, what about treatments?
It's very simple. My advice to you, in fact, to any student, is to interfere as little as possible with nature. She is a remarkable healer, young Thomas. You will find that she can work miracles, and often does, if she is given the opportunity.
Isn't there anything the doctor can do?
Well, good, tried remedies are few. No, as long as you are with me, you will use only quinine for the fever, mercury for the pox, give iron to those who are pale and losing blood, and opium to ease pain and restlessness. Otherwise, you will allow your patients to rest, see that they have good, nourishing food, and ease their discomfort rather than add to it, as some of my brother physicians seem to delight in doing.
Thomas Sydenham was truly an outstanding man of medicine, when you consider the age in which he lived. A time when a man who'd suffered the torments of a stomach operation could be bled 4 times in the following 24 hours. As I said, Thomas Sydenham was considered most unusual, but he passed his teaching on to his 2 students. Time passed, and Sloane and Dover began to treat their own cases and make their own discoveries.
I was reading a medical treatise the other day from France.
Yes?
Yes, and I think we may have another cure we can add to our list.
Oh, what's that?
It was used on the Dauphin. It's called Ipecacuanha. It comes from South America.
You're going to try it?
I already have.
Without permission?
Well, I wanted to see what would happen, if it was really any use.
What is all this? If what is of any use?
Thomas has been experimenting.
Really? On his own patients or mine?
Mine.
Oh, good. Well, what have you been trying?
I read about a new medicine. Apparently they tried it in France. It cured the Dauphin.
So everyone thinks it's a miracle and they begin using it for everything.
How did you guess?
Well, I know the pattern. Well, what did you use it for?
In the paper, it said that a certain man, Helvetius, had administered it to cure the flux. One of my patients was dying of it, so I tried the medicine.
It worked?
Yes.
And you've used it only the once?
No, several times. And I've discovered something else.
Oh, what's that?
It works better if it's mixed with opium. The Ipecacuanha seems to help the stomach movements, and the opium soothes the patient. It's really remarkable.
Good. Carry on with the experiments. Take careful note and make sure that your doses are exact. You may have found something worthwhile. But, Thomas...
Yes, sir?
Please don't imagine that you found a cure-all. Believe me, there is not and never will be any such thing.
Eventually, Thomas Dover and Hans Sloane had learned all that Sydenham had to teach. Thomas Dover set up practice in Bristol, where he made a fortune treating the sailors with mercury. Hans Sloane remained in London, where he too found fame and fortune. In fact, as Sir Hans Sloane, he prepared the London Pharmacopoeia. Among the entries, along with spider's web, virgin's milk, and moss from human skulls, all of which are listed as approved treatments, there's an item, Dover's powder. This is given as 10% Ipecacuanha, 10% opium, and a filler of sulfate of potassium. So Thomas Dover had become famous as well as rich. He was settling into a comfortable and prosperous middle age when quite suddenly he felt the need for excitement and adventure. At this time, Bristol was a bustling seaport, filled to the brim with honest merchantmen and not quite so honest privateers. One of the most famous of these was Captain Woodes Rogers.
Dr. Dover?
That's correct.
You wanted to see me?
If you're Captain Woodes Rogers, yes.
That's me.
Good. Sit down. A glass of brandy?
Yeah, thank you.
There you are. Now, I understand your line of business is profitable.
Profitable and legal these days. I've got a license from the king. Saves unpleasantness. The chance of having your neck stretched in execution dock.
But to put it bluntly, you're a licensed pirate.
Well, we only attacked the Spanish and the French, so it's all right.
Yes, of course. Now, seriously, I have some money, and so have some of my friends.
Would the Bishop of Bristol be one of them?
You're very well informed.
I keep my ears open.
Yes, well, these friends and I have got together, and we'd like to finance an expedition.
Yeah, it occurred to me you might. How many ships?
2 frigates.
Well, now, by a strange coincidence, there are 2 suitable vessels available at this very minute.
Then you're interested?
Yes.
Well, you buy the ships, fit them up with everything you think you'll need for the voyage.
How long?
I beg your pardon?
How long are you counting on us being out?
As long as you need to make us all rich.
Probably a couple of years. Depends what we find, of course. You got that much to spare?
As much as you need, and more. There is one other thing. I want to go with you.
Well, that's not usual.
I know, but I'm tired of sitting here in Bristol. I want to get out, see something of the world, have some excitement and adventure.
You'll get that all right with me.
Then you'll take me as ship's doctor?
No.
But...
if you have money in the venture, I'd rather take you as second captain.
So it was that the amazing Dr. Dover left his comfortable life behind and set out to be a buccaneer. Dr. Dover had 2 frigates, one named the Duke and the other the Duchess. At that time, the main hunting ground for privateers was off the mainland of America, and it was there that the Duke and the Duchess headed. One day, they were watering near an Indian village on the coast of Mexico when they learned that a small Spanish treasure ship was lying at Vera Cruz and was due to sail for home at any time. The Duke immediately put to sea with the aim of intercepting the Spanish ship. On a grey morning, 5 days later, she came up over the horizon, a brig carrying 18 guns.
Here they come. At this moment, I always wish I had led a better life.
most of the shot went high, right over the top.
Yes, I told you we were well within range.
And aren't you going to return their fire?
Yes, in a minute. We'll take our time. We got 20 minutes before they can reload those guns.
What about the guns on the other side? She can turn and fire those.
That clumsy creature. Turn? We'll be round in a quarter of the time. Open the gun ports, men! We shall now come down on her defenseless side. Ready to fire! Stand by! Fire!
Right amidships. You got them right in the middle.
Aye, now we'll swing round and come back with our other guns to bear.
What's happening?
Where?
On the deck, look. The men are all coming up. Do you think she's going to blow up?
Well, I hope not. At this range, we could go too.
No, I don't think it's that. They'd be jumping into the water if they thought she was going up. No, they seem to be holding a meeting. The officers are shouting.
Great ones for talking, the Spanish.
There seems to be quite an argument going on.
I think we should use the other broadside just to help them make up their minds.
No, wait. I think there's a mutiny going on over there. Just look that they're waving white cloths, and the colors are being lowered.
What the devil's it all about?
So we lower a boat, Captain.
No, I don't trust them. Could be a trick. Take us within hailing distance and ask them what's going on.
Aye, sir.
I've never seen anything like it. It's hardly touched, and yet they seem to want to surrender.
Well, it looks like we've got our first treasure ship.
Yeah, it was almost too easy. Well, man, what was it?
Runaway gun, sir. One of our shots went through a gun port and probably running around down below there like a mad monkey in a cage. They want to know if we can help their wounded.
Yes, of course. Lower a boat. I'll go over.
Oh, I don't think you should.
We've got a whole treasure ship unharmed. I think I owe them any help we can give.
Dr. Dover found the gun deck a shambles. 2 men were beyond aid. Another lay helpless with a leg crushed. He seemed almost indifferent to his injury, dazed and uncaring. As the ship tossed on that choppy sea, the buccaneer doctor set briskly to work and removed the leg, while the man lay making no movement or protest. During the next 6 months, they sailed up and down the American coast. They attacked Spanish and French ships and land settlements, and began to amass the fortune upon which they'd set their hearts. Then came feared and dreaded signs. Scurvy.
Captain Rogers, we are going to have to put ashore. We must have fresh food.
Well, you know quite well we can't. This is all enemy territory.
Your men are sick, Captain.
It's only the scurvy. It's quite normal on a long voyage.
It may be normal to you, but I won't allow it to go unchecked on a ship of mine. Do you realize that we have 3 men dead, and most of the others are affected in one way or another? They've no spirit. They sit and shiver. The slightest thing set them in a state of terror. You'll never fight the Spanish with this lot.
Oh, what do you suggest?
I seem to remember from the chart that there are some uninhabited islands near here. I think we should put in at the next one we see what we can find in the way of fresh meat or fruit.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. We should come abreast of Juan Fernandez tomorrow afternoon.
Uninhabited?
Well, according to the charts.
Good. We'll put ashore.
It was late afternoon on January 21st when the 2 ships reached the island and dropped anchor.
Very well, Captain. Here we are. Let's lower a boat and go ashore.
It's getting late. It'll be quite dark by the time we get the boat down. I think we should wait till morning.
You said it was uninhabited. What danger can there possibly be? Why not go now?
Captain, sir, look up on the hill there.
Where?
Halfway up, in that clearing.
Well, what is it?
A fire.
You said the island was uninhabited.
Yeah. It's probably pirates. Well, that settles it. We don't land.
Perhaps not tonight, but I intend to land in the morning.
And I say we up anchor and go now.
Captain Rogers, I'm perfectly prepared to take your orders as far as sailing and fighting are concerned. But I would remind you of 2 things. First, I'm a doctor. And second, these ships belong to me. As far as the health of the men goes, I intend to give the orders. And I say that we go ashore tomorrow. That is, if you don't want a ghost crew in a few weeks' time.
Very well. You insist. On your own head, be it.
Don't worry, Captain. If I'm killed, I won't hold you responsible.
Next morning, Captain Rogers took the frigates in as close to shore as he dared. Dr. Dover called for volunteers to row the pinnace, and soon they were headed for the sandy beach of the island.
Well, it all looks peaceful enough.
Wonder what made that fire last night.
Perhaps it was a natural fire of some kind. I certainly don't see any sign of pirates or Spaniards.
Whoa. We're ashore, sir. Can I give you a hand out?
Thank you. A beautiful place, isn't it?
Look, sir. There. Coming out of the trees.
What the devil is it?
It runs like a man, but it looks almost like a goat. It couldn't be the devil, could it, sir?
Oh, nonsense.
Whoa.
It's a man.
But his clothes, sir. Look at his clothes. They look like fur.
They are, don't you see? Goat skin.
Help me!
It almost sounds like English. Don't worry, we'll help you. You're all right.
Must have been shipwrecked.
Take me away. Do not leave. Take me, please help.
Now, don't worry. We'll look after you. How long have you been here?
Long.
When were you wrecked?
Not wrecked. Left.
It's all right. You're found. We won't leave you. When were you left here? What year?
For 5.
And he's been here for 5 years. Poor devil. Wonder why they left him.
What's your name? Your name?
Alexander.
Dr. Dover collected fresh fruit and killed some goats for meat and carried them back to the ship together with his strange survivor. At first, Alexander Selkirk found difficulty in expressing himself after his 5 years of isolation. But soon his speech grew more fluent, and he was able to tell of his ordeal.
I sailed with Captain Stradling. I was his navigator.
That devil.
Yes, I knew he had a reputation for ill-treating his men, but I thought I could handle him.
The promise of a fortune in gold will take most men a long way.
It was the only thing that kept the men from mutiny. But the ship was a hulk, not fit to sail. When we reached this island, I tried to get the men to refuse to sail any further, but they wouldn't listen to me. Captain Stradling heard about my talk to the men, and he said, "If you want to stay, you shall." He put me in a long boat and had me rowed to shore. That was 5 years ago.
How did you keep from going mad?
Oh, I thought about my home in Scotland, of my family in Largs. That's a little fishing village in Fife.
How did you live?
At first, I ate shellfish and turtles when I could catch them. I couldn't accept what had happened, you see. So I sat there on the beach, waiting for them to come back. I was so full of despair that I couldn't even think. They had left me a few things, a Bible and a knife and gun. At length, for want of anything better to do, I opened the Bible and began to read. That was the turning point. Through that Bible, I came to terms with my fate. I learned that I mustn't live from day to day dreaming of rescue. I must accept what had happened and make the best of it. I built 2 huts. I learnt to hunt the wild goats. I cooked the meat and used the skins for clothes.
But companionship, what about that?
At first I thought I would die of loneliness. But then I accepted that too. There are hundreds of wild cats on that island. I fed them when they grew tame. They would sleep on my bed, and I would read to them from the Bible and even sing hymns to them.
And you saw no humans in all that time?
One party of Spaniards. I hid from them. Tell me what happened to Captain Stradling.
His ship went aground in Spanish Columbia. He's a prisoner in Spain.
Oh, I'm sorry. At one time I would have been glad and hoped he suffered. Now I don't hate him anymore. I've found peace on my island.
But you don't want to stay here?
Oh, no, not now that rescue has been offered.
Well, you're welcome to join us. We've lost 3 men with scurvy.
Aye. How'd you like to be second mate on the Duke?
Oh, thank you, sir. I'd be obliged. You know, sir, this is almost like returning from the dead.
So, for the next 2 years, Alexander Selkirk sailed with Captain Woodes Rogers and Dr. Dover. During that time, the privateers amassed a small fortune. And when the crew shares and expenses had been paid, they found there was left over £170,000, most of this money going to Dr. Dover. But Selkirk found it difficult to adapt after his long period of isolation, and apparently often regretted leaving Juan Fernandez with its tranquility and solitude. He died of yellow fever during an expedition to the Gold Coast and was buried at sea. He might very easily have been forgotten but for one thing. His story came to the ears of the writer Daniel Defoe. The author was 58 years old and plagued with ill health and debt when he wrote his immortal Robinson Crusoe. Yet the book, a cunning mixture of fact and fiction, is an inspiring example of a man's survival through his own ingenuity and faith. As for Dr. Dover, well, his famous powders remained for many years a remedy for stomach troubles. One strange fact was that the alkaloid emetine was isolated from ipecacuanha in 1817, but it wasn't until 100 years later that it was found to be especially effective against amoebic dysentery. So the amazing Dr. Dover was on the right lines all the time.
Medical File, the documented story of the men and women who in hospitals, research centers, and lonely surgeries guard our lives. Listen again next week for another true story from Medical File. This is a true story taken from an actual medical file.
My story tonight concerns arthritis, that most painful of ailments which attacks so many people, rich and poor, young and old. Arthritis is no respecter of persons. For example, did you know it was recently established that Tutankhamun, ancient king of Egypt, died at the age of 19, suffering from arthritis of the spine? But today, a great deal is being done for sufferers of this complaint, as you can learn from the case of Jenny Miller, in my story tonight, which I've called Never a Wheelchair.
Medical File. Factual stories of the men and women whose vigilance guards our lives. A reconstruction of clinical case histories, step by step with the doctors who were there. Medical File.
The time is the present, and the location, a golf club lounge a few miles south of Durban, where Jenny's husband John is talking to his friend and doctor, Stanley Phillips.
You played a brilliant game this morning, Stan. I wish my short game was as good as yours.
Oh, I don't know. I think I was lucky today. You can usually give me a good game. Want your revenge next week?
Oh, calm me down, Stan. We leave for Europe on Saturday.
Of course, I'd forgotten. Are you all set to go?
Oh, more or less, just the last-minute packing. And I leave that to Jenny. She's a marvel at keeping to the 44 pounds limit.
How is she, by the way? How's her arthritis?
Oh, she never complains. She limps a bit, but I don't think it worries her too much.
Don't you believe it? Your wife's type of osteoarthritis is one of the most painful things known to medical science. I'm not kidding you, John. What she suffers with that hip of hers must be agonizing at times.
Well, do you really think that?
Think I know. Look, John, eventually Jenny will have to give up. Either a wheelchair or crutches. It's got to come to that.
It's no use fooling myself. You have told me that before.
What does Jenny think about it?
Oh, she always laughs it off. She can't bear the thought of a wheelchair. I have the devil's own job to get her to use a stick.
She should never be without a stick. If she should happen to fall heavily on that hip, she might never walk again.
You know, you sound quite serious about this. Do you think we should go on this holiday?
Well, I don't say that you shouldn't. No, the change will probably do her good in a general way, but you must be careful she doesn't overdo things. You know, sightseeing and that sort of thing. Make her rest before she's tired.
How long have you been our Dr. Stan?
Oh, about 19 years. Why?
You haven't learned much about Jenny in that time. You think I can make her rest before she's tired? I can't get her to rest when she is tired. Anyway, I'll do my best. You haven't got a very exhausting itinerary, just a bit of sightseeing. Now then, what about one for the road?
And so the Millers went on their holiday to Europe. Jenny managed to go on most of their outings, but she was in pain all the time, a great deal of pain. But somehow, sufferers from arthritis seem to learn to ignore their disability and enjoy doing as much as they can, as far as possible, in a normal way. Then, one day in Italy, on a visit to the ruined city of Pompeii...
Jenny, love, I see they've got some fresh excavations in this part of the city. Would you like to go over and see them? They weren't open to the public last time we were here.
Oh, I'm always ready to see something new.
What do you mean new? They're thousands of years old.
You're asking for a thump, John Miller. Is it far?
Well, shouldn't be, according to this guidebook. Just down this street, then off to the left. Look, let me go on a bit and see how far it is, and then I'll come back for you. I won't be long.
I'll follow you down. Oh, bit of a rough road. I suppose the original Roman pavement is underneath all this rubble. Oh, just think. This was a huge civilized city all those centuries ago. They certainly knew how to live in luxury. We could learn a lot. Oh, you clumsy fool, Jenny Miller. Why don't you look where you're going?
Excuse me, honey. Excuse me, I saw you fall. Are you all right? Did you hurt yourself? Here, let me help you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
if you would. Oh, that's better. It's all right. I'm still in one piece, thank you.
Here's your stick. I see you have a bad leg. Are you sure you're okay, dear? Are you alone?
No.
Oh, here, let me help you.
I'm quite all right now, thank you. Here comes my husband.
Did you fall?
No need to panic. I'm all right. This lady here helped me out. There's no need to worry.
Oh, yes, but what a shame to have such a fall, and on your vacation, too. Why, I reckon you're a very brave person to be touring Europe with a leg like that. You ought to be in a wheelchair. Why, you could easily have broken your hip or
No,
something.
it's nothing really. Just rheumatism. I try to ignore it.
I don't think you should, and I don't think your husband should allow you to either. You ought to go and see an orthopedic surgeon and have that put right there. Why, back home, we certainly wouldn't have... Oh, no, look at that. While we've been talking, my party's gone out of sight. I better go catch him up. Will you be okay now, dear?
Oh, thank you very much for your help.
Oh,
Don't
thank
worry,
you.
I'll see she doesn't fall again.
Okay, then. A nice job, nice you.
Well, are you sure you haven't hurt yourself? Did you fall heavily?
Oh, John, you know me. I fall so easily, but at least I've learned to do it gracefully. I hope. I know that American lady meant to be kind, but I do wish she hadn't mentioned a wheelchair. I hate the very idea. Oh, well, come on. Let's forget it. Where do we go now?
After that fall, Jenny suffered increased pain. But still she carried on, grimly determined that her arthritis would not stop her from enjoying their holiday. Eventually they arrived in London. But by then, Jenny found that stairs were beginning to be her worst hazard. There was a lift in the hotel and in all the big stores. But most of the theatres they visited had stairs down into the stalls or up into the dress circle. And then again, the Millers travelled around London a great deal by underground. Poor Jenny began to feel she was dogged by stairs. Negotiating them was becoming an increasing strain for her, and the hustling London crowds had no thought for the slow-moving little woman with the stick. Then, one day, after a tiring visit to Kew Gardens...
You know, Jenny, there was some sense in what that woman of Pompeii said. I think we ought to see if we can't do something about your hip. You're suffering more pain than you'll admit. There must be something that could help you. Massage, perhaps, or some sort of lamp treatment.
But who could we go to? I don't think we'd get anything done here. We're not UK residents anymore, remember. I don't suppose we come under their national health scheme.
No, I imagine not. Hang on a minute, though. What about my engineering association? They have one of the finest hospitals in the world right here in London. I could perhaps go and ask them for some advice.
Well, if you think so, John, it might be an idea, perhaps. Try it anyway.
And so, Dr. Bailey, we thought the best thing would be to come in and ask your advice.
Yes, and I'm glad you did, Mr. Miller. Now, the procedure will be this. Mrs. Miller will go to the clinic for x-rays as arranged, and as soon as we have the results, you can take them immediately to Mr. Court.
Mr. Court? Who is he?
He's one of the foremost orthopedic surgeons we have today. Rather more to the point, he's made a study of this particular form of osteoarthritis of the hip joint. I'm quite sure that he'll be able to help you, Mrs. Miller.
Doctor, I must confess I'm a little worried. We came to inquire about treatment, and now I'm to see a surgeon. That suggests an operation, and we hadn't reckoned on that.
Yes. Well, why not wait and see what Mr. Court advises? Oh, and Mrs. Miller, you needn't have any fear regarding an operation. I'll let you in on a little secret. My mother had a complete hip replacement, and she's hopping about now like a 2-year-old with no pain either.
Well,
anyway, the first thing is to get those x-rays done and then to see Mr. Court.
If you look here, Mr. Miller, you'll see that the bone is quite worn away at the joint. See? Now, no amount of outside treatment of any kind can make the slightest difference to that condition. No, the only answer is a complete replacement of the hip joint.
Oh, I don't know that I could... Well, could you explain what that entails?
Well, in non-technical language, we cut off the worn-out ball joint here and replace it with a metal one. Now, this has a sort of spike which fits down here into the femur. That's the thigh bone there. In time, this grows to become virtually part of the patient's own skeleton, as it were. The worn socket, you can see plainly here.
Oh, yes, I see.
Well, we reline that with metal, which reinforces it completely.
But that sounds marvelous. As a matter of fact, I used to be an engineer. I can see exactly what you're getting at. There's one thing I'd like to ask, though.
Yes?
Is there any kind of rejection of this metal joint by the body, I mean?
Oh, no, none whatsoever.
I don't know what to say. I can't believe it. It all sounds too, well, fantastic.
It's like servicing a car engine. You can have a retread, old love.
But, you're quite right in a way, Mr. Miller. This particular technique was developed by an engineer and an orthopedic surgeon working together.
What kind of results are you getting?
Well, I've only performed nearly 7,000 operations to replace hips by this method.
7,000?
That's what I said. And I can establish that 89% of my patients have completely recovered the full use of their limbs.
But that's marvelous.
Well, we try our best. And the most important thing of all, they now suffer no pain.
And the remaining 11%?
Oh, they regain their mobility, but with a limp. It's only a slight limp, usually, but I must repeat, they are free from pain.
100% free from pain. Oh, that sounds really wonderful. But before we decide definitely, Mr. Court, what would this operation entail? How long would I be, well, immobilized?
Well, of course, that would depend largely upon you, Mrs. Miller. The usual is 8 days in bed, followed by a wheelchair for a week or two, then elbow crutches for anything up to 8 weeks.
And after that?
In your case, I should expect complete recovery. I think I can guarantee you no pain. I always warn the patient not to expect full use of the limb at first, but in any case, I shall want to see you for a checkup in about 3 months. After that, all being well, you should be absolutely normal.
So she'll be in hospital for about 2 months?
Near enough, possibly less. As I mentioned, it depends largely on the patient. And look, Mrs. Miller, if surgery can give you, say, 20 more years on your feet and without pain, would you not be foolish in the extreme not to take advantage of it? What do you say?
You're right, of course. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Court. But there's one thing I do know.
What might that be?
Just as soon as it's humanly possible, I'm determined to be out of that wheelchair.
So Jenny was admitted to hospital and found herself in a ward with 3 other women, all orthopedic patients. The atmosphere in an orthopedic ward is usually rather a happy one. The patients aren't ill in the sense that they're suffering from some disease. They're just marking time while broken bones knit and muscles get strong again. Jenny found the air of confidence and hope very reassuring, and she settled down immediately. One morning, quite soon after her admittance, she was wheeled to an anteroom of the operating theatre. She says she remembers nothing more. But in the theatre, a skilled team awaited her. Mr. Court, himself, other surgeons, some to assist, some to observe, and the theatre staff poised and waiting. The anaesthetist indicated that the patient was ready, and Mr. Court began.
You see, gentlemen, we shall have to commence here. Right. Scalpel?
Scalpel.
I shall make my incision here like so. Swabs?
Swabs.
Switch on the cautery. Now, gentlemen, if you observe the X-ray screen, you'll appreciate that this arthritis is a very long-standing self-retaining retractor, sister.
Self-retaining retractor, sir.
Right, thank you. Now, I propose to excise the head of the femur, with extreme care in this case, due to the brittleness of the bone. It'll be necessary, of course, to take the same special care when detaching the trochanter with muscles all intact. We can now observe the capsule. Mallet and osteotome.
Mallet and osteotome.
Now, gentlemen, watch very carefully, please. This can be the trickiest part of the whole operation.
Mr. Court proceeded with infinite skill and meticulous care. Firstly, to move the muscles over to one side, and then secondly, to sever the head of the thigh bone. Then, in due course, he inserted the metal appliance, which was to be Jenny's new hip joint for the rest of her life. The cup into which the ball joint had to fit was relined with metal, and eventually the new hip was in position correctly, and the muscles gently replaced.
And so, gentlemen, the operation is virtually completed. It just remains for me to inspect and approve. It fits in, yes. All right, Dr. Bailey, close the wound, please, in layers in the usual way. All right, sister. Now, what's next on the list?
Mr. Court left the theatre. His assistants stitched the small incision on Jenny's hip, and she was wheeled back into the ward. All told, she'd been in the theatre for less than an hour and a half. That day and night, she was under constant care. And then, the following morning...
That's fine, yes. All right. Now, sister, what about Mrs. Miller?
Here's her chart, Doctor.
Thank you. Yes, blood pressure. Yes. Temperature. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's excellent. I must say she looks pretty cheerful.
Cheerful? That's hardly the word for it. When I came into the ward this morning, she was sitting up doing her hair and her face, and the ward was laughing its head off over some story she just told them. And she's just this minute ordered roast chicken with apple pie and cream to follow. I'd say she's cheerful, all right, Doctor.
And she had her operation only 24 hours ago. What a woman, eh?
Dr. Bailey, may I ask you a question?
Certainly you may, but I may not answer it.
Well, I wanted to know how they knew what size to make that thing I've got in my hip. I don't remember anyone measuring me for it.
No, we didn't, actually. You see, what happens is this. We've got several sizes and shapes on a table in the theatre, and we find the one that suits you best.
Good morning, Doctor.
Hello, Miss Holly. This is your physiotherapist, Mrs. Miller.
Thank you, Doctor. Well, Mrs. Miller, how are you?
Well, I think I should be off. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller. Be seeing you.
Goodbye, Doctor. Now, Mrs. Miller, I've come to give you some exercises for your leg.
What? You mean now? Already? Here in bed?
Of course. Now, we'll begin right away now. Push your knees down hard into the mattress. That's right. Come along, dear. That's right. And again and again.
Mr. Court says you can sit out in a chair for a while this morning, dear.
Oh, that's good.
Well, it's 8 days since your hip was fixed, and you're going according to plan, he says. Got any pain?
Good gracious, no. I've had no pain since the new hip. But how do I get into that chair?
Oh, don't worry. I'll help you. Where's your dressing gown? Come on, lad. You're going down for an X-ray.
An X-ray? But what for?
Just routine, love. Everyone has a post-operative X-ray. But I must say, not always as early as you. Seems you're doing very well.
How do I get there?
In a wheelchair.
Oh, no, please, not a wheelchair.
Well, what am I supposed to do then? Carry you? My name's not Samson, you know.
I'm sorry, but I do hate the idea of a wheelchair. Your X-ray is quite satisfactory, Mrs. Miller. Oh, yes? Do I go back to the ward now? No, I'm going to push you over to the gymnasium. Dr. Bailey says you're going to walk this morning. Did you say walk? Oh, you'll find plenty to hold on to. Now, how long since you've had your new hip? 10 days. Oh, you're doing well. Come on, off we go.
From then on, Jenny's life became very full. There was a session in the gymnasium every morning, and also in the afternoon until visiting time. And of course, John never missed once coming to see her, to cheer her up, as he put it. Not that she needed much of that. Then on the 16th day, he arrived for his afternoon visit a little early. Jenny wasn't back from the gym. He waited by the lift to surprise her as she came out. But the surprise was on him.
Hello, John.
What? Jenny, you're walking. Jenny, love, I can't believe my eyes.
I told you I wouldn't be long in that wheelchair, didn't I? Aren't these elbow clutches super?
But you're standing up so straight. I haven't seen you do that for years.
I know. My legs are the same length, too. I shan't limp any more. Well, come on. Let's go and get some tea.
Hey, careful. Careful, you might slip.
Rubbish. I won't slip. There are rubber tips on these things. Well, come on. I can walk faster than you already.
Glory be. Where's Mrs. Miller going all dressed up in her outdoor coat with that bag and all? Stop her, nurse.
Oh, it's all right. She wears a coat because she's always cold coming from South Africa. And she's got her tapestry work in the bag. I'll go and see what she's up to. Mrs. Miller? Mrs. Miller?
Yes, dear?
Sister wants to know where you're going in that hiking outfit.
This what? Oh, I'm going into the lounge to watch the TV until my husband comes.
How's your tapestry getting on?
Not very quickly. I don't seem to get much time for it. Far too busy with the exercises.
Most of the patients read. What made you bring needlework?
I thought thought if I was going to spend 8 weeks in here, I ought to have something to show for it. But I thought I would be sitting down much more than I am. 9, 10, 11, 12. I've done it. I've reached the top.
Good. You've mastered going up. Now let's go down, shall we? Come on.
Oh, I don't know. It looks an awful long way down.
Well, you can't give up now. Come on.
Oh, all right, then. It's crutches and bad leg first, isn't it?
No, it isn't, Mrs. Miller. We don't have a bad leg anymore. We have 2 good legs. We must remember that, mustn't we?
From then on, it was all plain sailing for Jenny. In the gymnasium, she did all kinds of exercises and learned to manipulate all kinds of appliances designed to bring every muscle into play again and to strengthen every sinew. When she had a spare moment, which I might add wasn't very often, she worked on her tapestry. Meanwhile, John, who'd always liked London, spent his mornings walking around the highways and byways, learning odd facts about the city's history and geography, something he never had time for before. As a result of this, he and Jenny had plenty to chat about in the all-too-short visiting times. They had a wedding anniversary while Jenny was in hospital, and John provided champagne. Then, a little more than 3 weeks after her admittance into this hospital, Jenny gave her husband the biggest surprise. She met him without her crutches. She was just using 2 walking sticks.
Well, don't just stand there. Say something.
Well, I can't. I'm speechless. Are you sure you're all right? And you won't fall?
Of course not. I've been measured for these. I'm allowed to go anywhere I like. Upstairs, downstairs, in the garden. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, and there's something else.
What's that?
I can leave here next Thursday. What about that? And, John, do you realize I've only been on elbow crutches for 8 days, not 8 weeks?
Well, now, Mrs. Miller, have you got all your things?
Yes, thank you, sister. There's only one case and my hiking bag, of course. Do you remember when you thought I was running away that afternoon?
Yes, well, I do. We've had many a chuckle over you, Mrs. Miller. We shall miss you.
Afternoon, sister. Okay, Johnny love, are you ready? Taxi's waiting. Said all your goodbyes.
Yes, that's the only sad part about it. Leaving all the good friends I've made here. But we've exchanged addresses and we're going to keep in touch. Well, come on, John. Let's go before I cry like a baby.
I'll come with you to the cab. We like to speed our parting guests.
Do you know, that's exactly what I felt like here. A guest. You've all made me so very welcome.
Oh, well, now, like Mr. Court always says, we try our best. And we've loved looking after you. Now, is this your taxi?
Yes, can I help you, Jenny?
No, dear. No, I want to try myself. The step isn't too high. That's it. Oh, this is real luxury. Oh, it's wonderful to be doing ordinary things again.
Well, goodbye, sister. We'll be seeing you in about 2 months when Jenny comes for a checkup with Mr. Court.
Goodbye, then. We'll look forward to seeing you. Take care now, and don't overdo it.
Oh, it's an impossibility.
Goodbye, sister. And thank you for everything.
And so the Millers left the hospital. With mixed feelings, I may add. They owed it so much. And their joy was complete when Mr. Court, the surgeon, 6 weeks later, passed her as completely fit. They returned to South Africa a few days afterwards. Many friends were at the airport to welcome them back.
Medical file. the documented story of the men and women who in hospitals, research centers, and lonely surgeries guard our lives. Listen again next week for another true story from Medical File. This is a true story taken from an actual medical file.
Epidemics there have been in the past, and in the present, with the introduction of cholera into Italy from North Africa. But thanks to modern hygiene and modern methods of preventive medicine, they don't usually occur on a scale sufficient enough to threaten the health of an entire nation. This is not so with the story contained in the medical file I have opened before me for tonight. This affliction was deadly, was widespread and insidious in a way seldom seen, and counted its victims in thousands before the outbreak was identified and brought under control. And I've called my story for tonight, National Alert.
Medical File. Factual stories of the men and women whose vigilance guards our lives. A reconstruction of clinical case histories, step by step with the doctors who were there. Medical File.
My story takes place in an undisclosed Middle Eastern country. Undisclosed because, until recently, there was a security clamp on news of this particular outbreak, and also because the same thing could occur in any country similarly placed with regard to economic and living conditions. The names and locations, therefore, are fictitious, but the events are horrifyingly real. Dr. Ben Clancy, resident representative of the World Health Organization, had seen service in many countries since World War II, and he always understood the conditions he would have to encounter. But even with his wide experience, he was to be strained to the uttermost in combating this evil.
Clancy here.
Hello, Ben. Ibn Beer.
Hello, Ibn. What does the public officer of health want today? Another rider to make up a polo team?
Afraid not, Ben. Polo is for the more pleasant times.
And times are not pleasant?
Far from it.
You sound serious, Ibn. What's the trouble?
I wish I knew. But I've had disturbing reports from some of our country districts.
From some of them? 1, 2, huh?
10.
10?
So far, yes.
You expect more?
How can I say? I fear more.
Hey, Ibn, that's a strong expression for you to use. You've got some epidemic on your hands, you think?
It would seem so. And you know what that means in a hot country such as ours with poor sanitation facilities.
I know what it mean. Where are these areas grouped? The areas where the reports have come from?
They're not grouped, Ben. They're spread all over the country.
I can hardly believe it.
Neither can I. That's why I wanted the World Health Organization in on it as soon as possible. It's obvious that we won't be able to handle an outbreak on this scale on our own.
Has the disease been identified, Ibn?
No, not positively anyway. Only wild guesses. There is one thing, though.
What's that?
All the symptoms are the same from each area, and there have been fatalities already.
How many? A few in each place?
An average of 12 so far, and more than 100 dead already. Won't you come round and look at the reports, Ben?
You're damn right I will, Ibn. If an epidemic like that isn't stopped pronto, there's no telling where it will lead.
Well, Ben, what do you think of the reports?
Don't help us very much, do they? Not with our local tests. Cramp-like pains in stomach, nausea and vomiting, pallor, cold, moist skin. Symptoms of several epidemic diseases in early stage.
There's one thing that really worries me. Well, two things, really.
Well, let's have them.
Most of the staffs, even of small hospitals in areas such as these, have had a fair experience of diagnosing diseases that normally attack our populations.
You have a point. And?
The rapid and often fatal conclusion. Shallow breathing, diarrhea, collapse, death.
Whatever it is, it's a killer.
Point number 2, my own particular worry is the spread of the disease, judging by these reports. From Punjab in the north to, well, Al-Inkra in the south, and taking in the eastern and western rural districts as well. Frankly, I don't understand it.
Then neither do I. The usual outbreak comes in one area and then spreads. But this, it's risen spontaneously in different districts all over the country.
Certainly an unusual pattern, to say the least. It's fairly noticeable, even on a quick check like this, that the larger towns don't seem to have been affected, only the rural places.
But what does that tell us? Only that the more primitive living conditions among the rural population favors various epidemic diseases. Although there are more people living in towns, generally the water supplies and sanitations are better.
So, normally things cancel out for the town dwellers. Certainly it's the country folk who've borne the brunt of it this far. But as I've said, just examining these reports doesn't help us very much. I think it calls for on-the-spot checkup.
I hoped you'd say that. But I can't leave for 24 hours, not with things in this state. Would you go on ahead and begin an investigation?
I think I'd better.
I'm not trying to put the thing onto your shoulders,
No, I didn't think you were.
But frankly, I'm expecting the position to worsen still further. These reports have all come in since 8 o'clock last night.
14 hours from the outbreak of the biggest epidemic I've ever heard of in modern times. One of the biggest, anyway. No wonder you don't feel you can leave your office. I'll take my assistant, Dr. Stringer, and head for Punjab on the next plane.
I'll join you within a day. I certainly need your help. Good luck.
Well, Marion, what do you make of it?
Oh, I agree with you, Ben. These reports don't tell us very much, do they?
It's very nasty. That much is clear.
I don't get the feel that it's anything we usually handle.
That's more or less Pierre's attitude.
And Ibben's no fool.
No, that isn't. But that leaves us with the proposition that this outbreak is something entirely new to us. Maybe to the medical world. I don't believe that either.
Sounds most unlikely. The usual things are cholera, typhoid.
Oh, there's no sign of fever.
No, rather the reverse, with cold, moist skin.
And low pulse rate. That's not typhoid.
Not low pulse rate, Ben. Irregular, but rapid. Look, it says so here.
Where?
There.
Oh, yes, you're right. These things happen so quickly, I hadn't read that properly.
You know, all those fatalities in such a short time are pretty unsettling.
That's putting it mildly. Even bubonic plague doesn't kill its victims that quickly. But we won't be able to tell very much before we're on the spot.
I wonder if we'll be able to make any better diagnosis than the medical people who sent these reports in.
We'd better. The World Health Organization. Got quite a reputation at stake.
Chancy things, reputations.
Can be made and ruined without any real justification sometimes. But more important here, it's 100 lives lost already. So someone has got to find out what it is pretty darn quick.
Ben. Dr. Stringer.
Hello.
Hello, Evan. How are things at base?
Bad.
How bad, Dr. Beer?
Steady flow of reports since you left. 1,000 cases have been reported in that time. Another 300 critical, 80 more fatalities.
We've got trouble.
What have you found out here, Ben?
The facilities here are minimal, but we've determined one thing. It's not cholera.
That confirms reports from other areas. Shall we look at some of the patients together?
Yes.
I think that's a good idea. The resident physician and Marion did the microscope work that eliminated cholera, but there are other possibilities.
Well, let's take this little group of patients here. You see, they've only been admitted 24 hours, and they're comatose already.
And the temperature of each isn't particularly high.
Which seems to eliminate the fevers, typhoid, typhus.
Well, anyway, Dr. Beer, the progress of those diseases is so much slower. You can walk about with typhoid for a week.
Very true, Dr. Stringer. And although the general symptoms of typhus and typhoid are very much the same as our mystery disease, here there is no rash, no nosebleed. No real clues.
There is one odd thing. Come over here and look.
What have you found out now, Marion?
All these 5 people are from one family.
No doubt it's contagious.
Hey, hold your horses a minute, Evan. That's not the usual pattern of a contagion either. If they infected each other, they would have come in at intervals, not all at once.
So they've been in touch with the same carrier, who's infected their food, perhaps, and...
Now we're back to cholera again.
Sometimes severe food poisoning is mistaken for cholera.
And vice versa.
That's true, Dr. Beer, but I'm morally certain that this is not cholera. And your other reports confirm that.
They do, yes. So, what have we? Let's recap. We have a sudden outbreak of a disease, apparently contagious in the extreme, with symptoms similar to a number of epidemic diseases that occurs in almost every rural area in the country simultaneously. It's nothing like any outbreak I've ever known.
Nor me.
And the proportion of fatalities to cases is abnormally high, even for plague.
I've had plague in my mind. The symptoms are similar, up to a point, but look at the temperature charts of all these patients here. There just isn't a fever that goes with the plague.
It's rather a pity you came all this way just to hear so little news of him.
I had to visit at least one of the areas affected. This was the nearest. And I needed a discussion with World Health Organization representatives on the spot. We will probably need outside help, and our reports must be as exhaustive as possible.
Our help you've got. All the same, there's not much more we can do here, except pick out some samples for laboratory tests. I've gleaned just one extra item of information from the nursing staff here.
What's that, Ben?
A number of the patients complained of throat discomfort and a metallic taste in the mouth.
That's odd.
I thought so, too. I've had a look at quite a number of patients here. The gums are to some extent redder than usual.
It doesn't apply to epidemic diseases either.
That's what we thought. So the quicker we get back with our samples and do the laboratory work, the better.
What are you doing now, Ben?
Haven't you seen the arranged test for mercury before, Eben?
Mercury? No, I haven't, but why?
Well, I think we've felt all along, the three of us, that there was something that didn't fit the pattern for the outbreak of a contagious disease.
Yes. Too widespread, too sudden. Symptoms inconsistent.
All those things. Yet Ben thought it seemed like food poisoning.
Yeah, affecting whole families simultaneously.
And the reddened gums, as well as the other symptoms of nausea, cramps, irregular pulse, shallow breathing, collapse. It seemed to us like poisoning of some kind.
And this test proves it. From the autopsy samples, we've rather nicely plated this copper foil with a silvery substance.
Mm-hmm.
Now we wash it and put it in another test tube and heat it for a while.
But Ben, you mean that this isn't a medical matter?
Oh, it's a medical matter, all right. These people need help. But it's possibly rather wider in its implications than just an epidemic. There now. You see that deposit on the wall of the test tube, just above the foil?
Yes.
Well, this is the third sample we've tested, Dr. Beer.
I see. So?
It would be wise to get confirmatory tests made on samples from other areas, Ibn. But from what I can see here, we're not dealing with any kind of a disease, but a major lethal outbreak of mercury poisoning on a fantastic scale.
Diagnosis is never very easy, especially with symptoms of a number of diseases that resemble each other. Nor when the final answer turns out to be something entirely unexpected, as in this case. In fact, for the public health authorities and the World Health Organization, the major part of the task still lay ahead. In Dr. Ibn Bayer's office the next morning, there was what amounted to a council of war.
Now, at least, thanks to you, Ben and Marion, we know what it is we have to deal with. I've taken certain steps already, and I'm expecting a visitor shortly, whom I hope will have further information. The first thing is that all hospitals and clinics have been advised of the antidote to use for mercury poisoning.
A 5 to 10% sodium phosphate solution.
Yes, or sodium foraldehyde, sulfahide. But tell me, how much BAL can you let us have? Enough for the entire country?
I was on telex to headquarters this morning. Ibn, there's a plane shipment on its way. The suppliers are being contacted to provide you with what you need.
Uh-huh. The trouble is we don't know how much we'll need. Now, we have nearly 1,500 cases, of which more than 200 have proved fatal.
Well, we must take the usual steps of poisoning, then BAL, administered intravenously, should cut down the fatality rate.
Yes, but...
Hello, Dr. Baer. I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
Colonel May, I was just about to say to my colleagues that we have to do more than cut the mortality rate on cases reported. We have to find the cause of the outbreak. Sorry. Dr. Clancy, this is Colonel Mahi of the police.
How do you do?
Dr. Clancy of the World Health Organization and his assistant, Dr. Stringer.
Dr. Stringer. How do you do? Dr. Clancy. I may have something that is of interest, Dr. Bear. I think this is our problem.
A loaf of bread?
Freshly baked, partly eaten, by the last family to be taken into hospital, about 200 kilometers from here. I left early this morning and brought it back myself.
But why fish? Why bread?
Without knowing too much about this kind of poisoning, Dr. Bear, I feel that the bread is the most likely source. After all, times have been bad, and bread is a basic need of life. Some of the family may eat fruit, others meat or a little cheese. But they all will eat bread.
I'll take some of that loaf and get to work testing it at once. We'll know within 2 hours if you're right about it.
Squad, halt! This is the place. Post guards, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Don't let anyone enter or leave. Come with me, please, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
Keep out of the way, Baker. I am Colonel Mahi from the police. A constable, watching my research.
But what have I done? I'm
Sorry, just keep out of the way until we have done. Come this way, gentlemen. The store's at the back where the grain's kept. Have you any way of telling quickly if the grain is contaminated?
I suppose we could make a paper test.
It's not very scientific, but there's an easier way.
What's that, sir?
Chew some.
Here's the grain, sir.
Well, there's the bag open. I'll try a few grains.
I also.
Give me some.
Well?
Definite metallic taste.
It's burning my gums a little.
Mine too. Let's spit it out. Well, I don't think there's any doubt about it. This grain is contaminated. We'll have to test it, of course.
Constable, bring some men and take this grain to the truck.
But
and bring the baker along, too.
No,
He's got a bit of explaining to do. Come on now, get going.
It's absolutely frightening. Day after day, the cases reported are still climbing. The fertility's increasing. What are we going to do?
And there's little more we can do at the moment.
You mustn't blame yourselves for feeling helpless. We've issued warnings about the poison bread. We've made sure that there's a supply of antidote in every region.
But how did it happen? The grain was contaminated, but how? Why?
New reports from Tobas, Wabra, and Zilfi, Dr. Bear.
Give them to me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. More reports.
Yes.
Well, Ibn?
200 more cases. 12 deaths in Tobas, 20 at Zilfi, 18 Wabra. Another 50 people in critical condition. Oh, dear.
You can hardly put out a warning to the entire population not to eat bread, can you?
I don't know which would be worse, to be poisoned or to starve to death.
Starving is not quite so quick nor so lethal. But I agree with Marion. A ban on bread eating just isn't possible.
Mai is working on finding out where the poison grain supplies are located. We're seizing all that's suspect. But the stuff is right throughout the country. It's no easy job.
I need to make an interim report to my organization. What are the actual figures to date, Ibn?
In 2 weeks plus 1 day, we have had over 3,000 reported cases. And 1 in 10 has died.
That's terrible.
Yes?
Colonel Mahi to see you, Dr. Ibn.
Good. Send him in at once. It's Mahi. He must have news for us.
Oh, good news, I hope.
I wonder what hope we have left.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Colonel. Sit down, man. You look all in.
Not quite, Dr. Bear. I haven't slept for 3 days, and I've just got back from the country. But I can keep going a bit longer. I know where the grain was obtained.
What? What? Where, Colonel? For heaven's sake, where?
Government stocks.
What? You can't be serious.
I'm too tired to joke, Dr. Bear. There was a very poor harvest last year.
I didn't know. One of the drawbacks of being a town dweller.
Anyway, the Country people depend upon their grain supplies, and to boost existing stocks, grain was supplied from government granaries.
Well, that tells us where.
But what has that to do with the present outbreak?
I can tell you that too, Dr. Bear. According to the experts I've consulted, grain intended for spring sowing was treated with methyl mercury. Is that correct? Well, the poison is intended to stop the grain rotting in the ground.
I've heard of its use as a fungicide.
Yes, that's it, Dr. Clancy. Well, this grain was issued in error to rural areas, to bakeries. We're now feeling the effects of it.
That means there's hundreds of tons of the stuff lying in barns and bakery stores just waiting to be used. Where on earth will it end?
In the rivers, the lot of it.
What?
Not in the rivers.
Oh, no.
Oh, why not? That's where most of the unwanted stuff ends up, in the villages. Now that the country people are beginning to realize it's this grain that's causing them to go off their heads and die like flies, the bags are being emptied into the rivers.
But don't you realize, man, that the contaminated water supplies affect the animals, get into irrigated crops?
No, sir, I didn't realize that.
Naturally, Colonel, you wouldn't. After all, you're a policeman, not a biologist or medical man. But what Dr. Clancy says is right. We'll have mercury coming back to the people in thousands of food chains instead of just one. This must be stopped at once.
I'll do what I can. But I would need a force of thousands to police the entire rural areas.
I'm going to see the Minister of Health again. The original outbreak is bad enough, but this looks like taking an even greater turn for the worse.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is General Sorayan. I can tell you that a national alert has been called, and I am to take any measures that seem appropriate. And I am answerable to nobody except the Prime Minister. A number of you have problems. May I hear them, please?
General Sorayan, I have been able to prevent a number of sacks of grain being thrown in the rivers. I understand you are already aware of the dangers of this.
Yes, Colonel. Army units in every area throughout the country are keeping guard night and day. An edict has been issued that anyone found depositing grain in the rivers is to be shot.
Isn't that rather extreme, General?
Under normal circumstances, Dr. Clancy, yes. But extreme cases call for extreme measures. Next.
General, sir, I have a report ready for the World Health Organization, whom I represent.
May I see it, please, Dr. Clancy?
Certainly, sir. Here.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Clancy. Believe me, I am aware of what you and your colleagues have done for our countrymen. But I cannot allow a word of this report to leave the country.
But, sir...
You may, of course, give your superiors a verbal report, but only in the strictest confidence.
Yes, General. Very good.
Dr. Stringer, I believe you have been compiling statistics during this emergency. May we have the latest figures?
Yes, of course. This is the third week of the crisis. The number of definitely identified report cases is just over 4,000, with 420 fatalities.
Dr. Clancy, you see how much we need your help and your goodwill.
I never had any doubt of that, sir. There's another way in which my organization can assist this situation.
How?
We must ship in enough grain to supply any deficiency there may be. Then the poison grain can be used for sowing as originally intended.
The border is closed to personnel movements. But I will make a special exception in this case. In your case, if you can arrange this for us, you will have all the assurances that you need that we will repay your country, your organization, when we can. And thank you once again.
The nightmare lasted from February of that year until August, when the number of reported cases dwindled to nothing. As a direct result of eating poisoned bread from the diverted grain, 6,530 people became ill, and some 500 died. in one of the most devastating mass poisoning accidents on record.
Medical File, the documented story of the men and women who in hospitals, research centers, and lonely surgeries guard our lives. Listen again next week for another true story from Medical File. This is a true story taken from an actual medical file.
At one time or another, you must have been listening to a news bulletin on the radio when you suddenly caught your breath. The newsreader is giving the details of a terrible accident which has occurred in your vicinity. It may be a train disaster, an air crash, an accident far below the surface of the earth in a mine shaft. And at the end of the bulletin, you sometimes hear the newsreader make an appeal for blood. He'll say that blood is urgently needed for those injured in the disaster and would appeal for donors. Now, do you switch to another program? Or do you put on your coat and make your way to the blood transfusion center? Perhaps you rationalize your way out of a situation. Perhaps you say to yourself, the place will be inundated with eager donors. There's no need for me to go. But you may possess what all those donors do not. You may possess blood of a very rare and special group. Blood that is more valuable than gold. In Britain, certain groups of blood are so rare that on the panel of special blood donors, only 20 or 30 donors are listed as possessing that blood. The story I'm going to tell you tonight concerns blood of one of those extremely rare groups. It happened not long ago, and had it not been for a jetliner and the system of landing by ground-controlled approach used at London Airport, the story might have ended in tragedy.
Medical File. Factual stories of the men and women whose vigilance guards our lives. A reconstruction of clinical case histories, step by step with the doctors who were there. Medical File.
How much blood in now, sister?
250 cc's, Doctor.
Afraid I'm not over happy about baby little E1. Anyway, I think she's had enough.
She'll require a second transfusion, Doctor?
Looks like it. Oh, we'll stop now anyway. I want you to give her some streptomycin by injection.
Very good, Doctor.
So we'll put a dressing on the umbilicus. And I think we'd better take a specimen of the baby's blood for the bilirubin test.
I'll see to it, Doctor.
Still at it, Josh? Yeah, just finishing, Alec. For the time being, anyway. For the time being? It didn't go as well as I expected, Alec. Well, that's bad. Yes, we'll do a second exchange Bad? I've just examined the other twin. The boy? What's happened? Josh, I'm afraid little E2 is showing symptoms of jaundice. Oh, no. So the boy is going to need a second transfusion, too. A second complete transfusion. Oh, gracious. We just haven't got enough blood. It's going to be very difficult. Very difficult indeed. Well, what does the regional blood transfusion center say? I rang Dr. Heimer the moment I'd examined little E2. Heimer will do all he can, of course, but whether even he is going to be able to get us over this one, well, he's not a miracle worker.
So much for that jaunty weather forecast, eh, Johnny? I know. If there's any fog coming our way, I can smell the stuff in my bones.
I have a horrid tiny hunch they're in for a really diabolical Ariclampus.
Oh, it's marvelous, isn't it? The Americans are orbiting the Earth at this very moment, and our backroom boffins still don't really know about the English weather.
You expect the English climate to make sense, Hindick?
My dear Johnny, there's no future in the airline business unless you're a besotted optimist. Okay, see what the Met lads have to say for themselves.
Dick, the poor parishers can't come up with a 100% crystal ball job every time.
Well, cross their filthy palms with silver anyway.
Met office.
Duty room, British Commonwealth Airlines.
SPCA.
Can you give us a little gen on this fog of yours?
Well, it's been a bit of a surprise to us.
Oh, you don't say.
Give over, chum. It's closing in rapidly. But we think it's one of those mighty efforts that suddenly spring up from nowhere and then disperse almost as quickly.
Well, when's it likely to lift then?
It'll clamp right down to begin with. But after that, it might clear up within a couple of hours.
Well, that's not too diabolical.
On the other hand, it might be one of those awkward devils that hangs around for days. With this particular mate, you can't really tell.
Charming prospect. Oh, well, thanks, mate.
You're welcome, BCA.
Great, isn't it? Oh, that tea should be spot on by now. Shall I be mummy then, shall I?
As long as you warmed the pot first.
A trainee bridegroom like me. Come off it, Dick.
Duty officer.
Operations BCA. Skybird 75B is released for passengers.
Okay, thanks. Let the ticket desk know, Johnny.
Wilco.
Ticket desk?
75B is released for passengers, Susan.
Right.
I think the aircraft will get away, Dick.
Runway visibility is still within the company's safety limit.
Not for long.
Well, then we just have to drag all the passengers back inside for a quick one.
Well, that shouldn't cause them undue pain. Oh, what on earth's the matter?
Holy mackerel. This tea of yours would burn a blinding great hole in the carpet of the VIP lounge.
Oh, I thought you liked your car.
Yeah, I draw the line at brewed up concoctions that melt the fillings in my back teeth.
Now, for me, the cup that soothes can't be too hot.
Well, you've got an asbestos-lined gut.
His strength was the strength of 10 because his gut was pure.
Oh, well, let's get cracking on this ruddy fog, Johnny. It's going to screw up everything good and proper.
Birmingham Regional Blood Transfusion Center, Heimer.
Gaunt here, Dr. Heimer. It's about the Miracle Twins.
The Miracle Twins. Doctor, from those two words, your story is apparent. The Miracle Twins... Whoever thought of such a name, the Miracle Twins need blood. They need blood I haven't got. Tell me, Doctor.
You're right, I'm afraid. It's as bad as I thought it would be when I spoke to you earlier. The girl didn't stand today's transfusion too well. And Dr. Whittaker wants to give her another transfusion. A complete exchange transfusion. Tomorrow.
With what, huh?
Yes, I know. The boy, well, I told you earlier, he's exhibiting symptoms of jaundice. He'll certainly have to have another exchange transfusion if he's going to make it.
This special blood, you people think we can manufacture it here in the laboratory? Like ice cream or something?
Position's very bad, is it?
It's bad, yes, but it's not hopeless, Doctor.
Oh, thank heavens for that.
Don't offer up your thanks too soon, Doctor. I said it's not hopeless. But then, no situation is ever really hopeless, is it? In our profession. That is what I tell myself always, in spite of the evidence.
You think you will be able to get the blood for us?
How much do you need?
At least 6 bottles. Can you do it?
I do not know, Doctor. I can try. I shall telephone you as soon as I have something concrete to say. Goodbye.
In Britain, as I told you, there is a panel of special blood donors kept at every blood transfusion centre. These are the VIPs of the service. Their whereabouts are always known. When a special donor goes on holiday, he leaves the name and address of his holiday hotel with his local transfusion centre. The director of the centre, if he has any special donors in his area, knows where they live, where they work, and where they're likely to be at different parts of the day.
Birmingham Regional Blood Transfusion Center.
Subscriber, I have a person-to-person call from Rome for Dr. Heimer.
Yeah, Heimer speaking.
I'm connecting you now. You're through Rome. Please go ahead.
Hello, Dr. Heimer.
Speaking. This is Heimer.
Dottore, Polo Collinelli here.
Paul. Thank you 1,000 times for telephoning me so quickly.
Tell me, my friend, what is the trouble?
Paul, I need some special blood. Very quickly, too.
How special, Doctor?
Group O, R2. At least 6 bottles.
R2. My friend, it is like gold, you know that.
In this case, Paul, more valuable.
But you have R2 donors on your special panel?
Yes, Paul, 20.
It is not enough?
No, some are out of the country, winter holidays, you know.
I see.
Most of the others have been recently bled. Look, Paul, this is the problem. Twins, newly born twins. Mother rhesus negative, and her serum contains an anti-little E factor.
This most unusual. And the father?
Homozygous for the little E.
Then both children have the little E.
Indeed they have, Paul. And they were premature births.
Yes, I see. You have problems, my friend.
Each twin has already been given an exchange transfusion. But now, for different reasons, both must have a second transfusion. A second complete exchange transfusion.
Then there is no time to be wasted. Expect me, my friend, to telephone you within 1 hour. Arrivederci.
Anything new, Johnny?
This, Dick.
What is it?
It's from the general manager.
Let's have it then.
Well, some hospital in Worcester needs some very rare blood in a blinding hurry.
Well, what's that got to do with us?
Well, this blood transfusion board he's trying to get is hooked on the blood.
Yeah?
If he can't raise the stuff in Europe, and that looks doubtful now with this fog, he may have to try the States.
If he does, they want us to drag it back across the Atlantic, is that it?
Exactly. And the old man wants us to go out of our way, as he puts it, to get that blood here. If they decide to use a BCA aircraft, that is.
Well, I knew it was going to be one of those days.
The situation is so very scarce, Alison. Paris, Berlin, Prague, every one of them fog-bound.
What about Rome, Dr. Heimer?
No good, I'm afraid. They have 4 or 5 special donors with R2R2 blood in Italy, but apparently 2 of these are right up north, and Paul Coronelli hasn't been able to get in touch with the others yet.
What on earth are we going to do?
We have only one hope left. The United States.
America?
Why not, child?
But it's so far away.
6 hours by jet.
Well, what about this wretched fog, Doctor?
In New York, there is no fog.
Yes, but even if an airliner gets across the Atlantic with the blood we need, it still can't land at London Airport.
Alison, my child, we can only hope the fog will clear.
What do you want me to do, Doctor?
I've already been in touch with London Airport. I want you to get onto the Chief Constable of Warwickshire at once.
All right.
Get him to make arrangements for a police car to pick the blood up at London Airport if and when it arrives.
Yes? Yes, I've got that, Inspector. Yes, I know, but even when the fog lifts, driving is going to be very dicey for a time. Yes, even for a squad car. I know, but it's nearly 100 miles to Worcester by road. Look, Inspector, I suggest you leave it with me. I'm certain we can do better than a police car, with all due respect. I don't know how yet, but I dare say we can come up with something. Thank you for putting me in the picture, Inspector. Cheerio.
Well, what now, Skipper?
The only thing is a chopper. Yes.
BCA hangar number 3.
Duty officer.
Carmichael is.
Dave, what stage is Skybird 50 AM?
Helicopter. It's under maintenance.
Just how long will it take to get that chopper airworthy, Dave?
What I see, 7 hours.
I want that chopper topped up and airworthy 4 hours from now.
4 hours? Oh, no.
4 hours, Dave, so get cracking. Ask for anyone you want, anything you need. 4 hours, top priority.
All right.
Have it standing by to go in stand 6-3.
Roger.
The instant the fog clears and Skybird 61B taxis into stand 6-3, I want that helicopter there, ready to take off in 15 seconds.
It really is a matter of life and death, then, sir.
It really is, Dave. Now, get cracking.
Right, on my way, sir.
What chopper pilots we got, Johnny?
Well, there's Carson, Jameson, and, Jim Allen.
Get Jim on the blower. Tell him I want him here in this office by 3 a.m.
3?
Remember, young Jerry Harmer's in a VC-10.
Now, dear, those Yanks really do love a touch of the old drama schools, don't they?
The face of the character who wrote that great about on board, Ted. The thing might have been the Ruddy Crown Jewels.
No, worth a whole lot more to those 2 little sausages in Worcester or wherever it is.
What about our ETA now, then?
It's bad. This headwind's held us up. Say, 7:32.
Right, I'll give London approach a buzz then and see if there's been any joy from Met.
Johnny, about time you had another go at Met.
Met?
How's our fog, Met?
Fog's beginning to clear, rather slowly, though. Runway visibility's now 200 yards.
When do you expect it to reach 500, then?
Present rate of lifting, say, an hour.
Oh, well, thanks a lot, Met. Dick, an hour, at least.
You people really do take your business seriously. You walked from Hounslow West.
Only form of transport, Captain Mallory. Dr. Heimer asked me to come down to London and travel back with the blood.
Well, when the fog clears enough to allow an aircraft the size of a VC-10 to land safely, we'll push across to London Precision and watch Jerry Harmer land that crate of his. And that crate of yours, for that matter.
Captain Mallory, there'll be no objections to my going in that helicopter of yours.
None at all that I can think of. Even if I could, that wouldn't matter in a case like this. You may as well see your very precious cargo to its final destination.
Thank you, Captain.
Doctor, When must this blood be in Worcester?
It must be in the hospital there at 10 o'clock at the very latest.
Give the fog an hour. Say another 60 minutes to Worcester, all in. Yes, it's going to be a very tight fit. Now, these things always look marvellous on paper, you know, Doctor, but it isn't always the same in practice.
Skip, I've spent some of the best years of my virile young life tooling around this stack here over Epsom.
Yes, me too, Jam.
Skybird 61B, this is London approach. Met's last report gives a runway visibility of 300 yards. Do you wish to hold or divert? Over.
London approach 61B. In view of my special cargo, I must continue to hold. Due to headwinds and holding, my fuel position will be dicey in 30 minutes. Over.
61B, London approach. I'll report fuel position to your operations. Continue to hold over Epsom. Out.
Captain, it's 12 minutes to 8.
Oh, relax, Doctor. We can still do it.
We're cutting it terribly fine.
I've seen finer.
BCA duty, you?
Right.
Hit me with it.
Runway visibility now 400 yards. Expect 500 in 15 minutes.
Oh, bless your cotton drawers, miss.
Going to do our best.
But that's nearly 8:05 before he even lands.
Still time, Doctor.
Captain Mallory, I don't wish to appear difficult, but the fog's lifting. You can see it from your duty room here. Surely your pilot could have a go.
Dr. Summers, your concern is for the lives of two very small children.
Yes.
That pilot of the BC-10 bringing in your special blood has 110 passengers in his aircraft. As the captain of that aircraft, his concern, and it's as deep as yours, is for the safety of those 110 human beings.
I'm sorry.
BCA duty, you?
Runway visibility now coming up to 500.
Great. Time, mate.
It's a pleasure, BCA.
Let's go, Doctor. We can still just about do it. Hold the fort, Johnny.
Skybird 61B, this is London approach. Do you wish to make an approach? Over.
London approach, Skybird 61B, roger. I wish to make an approach immediately. Request talk down by ground control, over.
Skybird 61B, you have priority out of the stack. Leave Epsom on heading of 040 and advise.
London approach, this is Skybird 61B, leaving Epsom, heading 040, over.
The Skybird 61B, this is London Director. Roger, you are identified on my radar screen leaving Epsom. Descend to 2,000 feet.
London Director, roger, 61B, leaving 4,000 feet.
It's past 8:15.
Yes, I know, Doctor. I brought you to ground control because I thought you might like to see an aircraft talked down.
Talked down?
When the landing conditions are a bit too rugged for the pilot to land on his own, then we help him out with a little science.
And you really think he'll get down in time?
I'm certain of it. Jim Allen, the chopper pilot, he'll pull out all the stops for you.
Thank heavens for that.
It's coming in now. Over here, Doctor. You can see the aircraft's position on these twin radar screens.
It looks very simple.
Well, it's not quite as uncomplicated as all that.
Why doesn't he get a move on?
Now, listen. London Director is going to work the aircraft.
Golf Victor Romeo on 119.5. Over.
Victor Romeo, roger. Maintain 1,500 feet on reaching and turn left now. Heading 225. Correction. Make the heading 235. Turn left 10 degrees. Over.
Roger, 235. Victor Romeo, over.
Victor Romeo, do not acknowledge further instructions.
What does that mean, Captain Mallory?
Well, from here on, Doctor, the pilot does exactly what he's told. He doesn't have much time for nattering anyway.
Check your wheels down and locked. 5 miles from touchdown. Closing from the left on heading 235. 235 is good. 4.5 miles from touchdown. Stand by to descend. 235 is good. Closing nicely. Left 5 degrees. Heading 230. You are clear to land from this approach. Surface wind 180 degrees. 10 knots. I say again, clear to land.
Oh, look at the time. That helicopter really will have to move.
It will, Doctor.
225 your heading, and you've settled on the glide path. 3.5 miles from touchdown, very slightly right of center line. Heading 225 is good, and steady on the glide path. 3 miles from touchdown. 3 miles from touchdown, left 3 degrees. Heading 222. 2 miles from touchdown, on the center line, heading 222. Back on the glide path now, turn right 3 degrees, heading 225. 225, your new heading, on the glide path. 1.5 miles from touchdown, continue right, heading 228. You're slightly left of the center line, 1.25 miles from touchdown. Closing nicely, heading 228. Going below the glide path, 30 feet low, 1 mile from touchdown. Left 3 degrees, heading 225. 225, your new heading, on the glide path. Slightly right of the center line, 225 the heading. 1/2 mile from touchdown. Very slightly right, but on the glide path. Approach completed. Out.
That's it, Doctor. Sometimes, Doctor, even an old hand like me feels exactly the same way. He's got to land on his own now. That is, he's got to land by sight. Anyhow, he was brought in blind to within 400 yards of his touchdown. Look through the window. There he is.
Oh.
He's down.
Golf, Victor Romeo, London Director. Call the tower on 118.1 for taxiing instructions.
Roger, and thank you very much indeed, London Director. Over and out.
Come on, Doctor. We'll have to put a jerk in it if we're going to get to stand 6-3 by the time he taxis in.
Yes. It really is quite fantastic, isn't it?
Utterly fantastic. Like taking all the blood out of a newly born infant and replacing it with blood from 6 different human beings. That blood of yours will be at the hospital in Worcester at, let me see, I'd say 10 minutes to 10.
Then it'll be in time. Thank heavens.
I told you we'd do it, didn't I? I couldn't be happier that we've been able to help. Come on, stand 6-3. Let's beat it.
Two newly born infants are dying in a hospital in Worcester, in England. They need new blood. They need blood of that particular group. Because of fog, that blood must be flown across the Atlantic in a modern jetliner, from New York to London Airport to Worcester. Along that lifeline, hundreds of men and women are engaged in the vital business of getting that rare blood to its destination. For a few moments of time, the whole world is kin.
Medical File, the documented story of the men and women who in hospitals, research centers, and lonely surgeries guard our lives. Listen again next week for another true story from Medical File. This is a true story, taken from an actual medical file.
We all feel that we live under some kind of tension in this modern world. And with these external pressures, we can usually cope quite adequately. But for those suffering from hypertension, the medical term for continuous high blood pressure, something more than willpower is needed to enable them to live a normal life. Now, thanks to recent discoveries, in many cases it's possible for hypertension sufferers to lead normal, active lives with their condition kept under control. Let me outline a recent case history in a story I'll call Living Under Pressure.
Medical File. Factual stories of the men and women whose vigilance guards our lives. A reconstruction of clinical case histories, step by step with the doctors who were there. Medical File.
The boy's seem to be in high spirits.
Yes, Morris, and a good thing, too. The war is far from over yet. In the 3 years since Dunkirk, we're only now beginning to see the turn of the tide.
Well, I'm glad that I'm in time to join the army and do a little bit to help, sir.
And we certainly need men with your outlook, Morris. Now, let's get back to your file. You're Peter Morris, aged 23, news reporter.
That's right, Captain Gregory.
Well, I should imagine that you're having a fairly exciting war already. You know, reporting on the raids and so on.
Well, it does get a bit exciting at times, sir. Covering the blitzes and a bit of shelling along the Dover coast by the long-range guns on the other side of the channel.
Then, why do you want to join the army?
Oh, I feel that wartime news reporting is a bit restricted, what with censorship and shortage of newsprint. I want to do a bit more positive a job. Something that will directly help the war effort.
I see. Well, I don't think you need have any feeling that your job isn't useful. Even vital, Morris. The nation has to be kept informed, and at a time like this, how it's done has a great importance.
It's a war job of a kind, sir, but I feel that the chaps in the desert and Burma and so on are doing a definite job in ending the war. I'd like to help, that's all.
Well, I think that at this stage of the war, everyone is doing the best he or she can, to help things along. But now tell me, Morris, how have you been feeling for the past year or two?
Fine, thank you, sir. Very fit.
Well, that's something, then. If you take reasonable care, watch your diet and so on, you shouldn't do too badly.
But that will hardly be possible in the army, will it, Captain Gregory?
That won't apply to you, I'm afraid, Morris. We can't accept you for the army.
Why not, sir? Haven't I passed my medical examination?
I'm sorry, Morris. I'm afraid not. I have reports from all the medical panel here, and most of them are quite satisfactory. But you're suffering from hypertension. High blood pressure, in other words. And I'm afraid we must reject you for the services.
Well, perhaps there's been a mistake. Couldn't they test me for that again, Doctor?
I'm sorry. You were given a second independent test, and your blood pressure reading was the same for both of them. I'm afraid you'll just have to forget about the armed forces and go on doing your civilian job as well as you possibly can.
Well, that is a bit of a blow. But what effect is this hypertension likely to have on me, sir?
Very little at your age, Morris. See your own doctor when you get home. I'll give you a brief note on the results of our tests, and do what he tells you. He'll probably put you onto a diet and advise you about your daily activities. But apart from that, you can go on doing your bit for the war effort, even if it's not overseas with the army.
Thank you for seeing me, Dr. Hoffman. About my husband, Peter, I've been so worried.
Yes, of course you have, Mrs. Morris. So it's a particular pleasure for me to be able to tell you that your husband will be quite all right. Well, after all, he's only in early middle age. And I'm sure we're going to be able to do a lot for him.
I hope so, Doctor. It was terrible to see a man of his years struck down, one side paralyzed like that.
Naturally, it was very distressing for you, Mrs. Morris, but that's quite the usual effect of a stroke, you know. Paralysis of one side of the body, dependent upon which part of the brain was affected when the blood vessel burst.
But will it have a permanent effect, Dr. Hoffman?
Well, it's early days yet, Mrs. Morris, but we hope not. In fact, I can hold out every hope of a good recovery for your husband. Certainly his condition hasn't worsened since we've had him under our care.
Oh, thank heaven for that. This was such a shock for me. Well, to us both, of course. What caused it, do you think?
Hypertension, Mrs. Morris. High blood pressure. Dangerously high in your husband's case. Tell me, has he been under a doctor at all?
No, Dr. Hoffman. I think he only had a doctor once during the time we were married, and that was for flu, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe he'd been seeing a doctor at about the time I met him during the last year or two of the war.
I see. Why was that, Mrs. Morris? Do you happen to know?
Oh, yes. I remember we talked about it at the time, because he'd been turned down by the army and felt he was out of the war. It wasn't true, really, because he was sent to plenty of danger spots by his newspaper, both during the war and since. As far as I know, he used to see his doctor about this blood pressure thing. But there wasn't much he could do, and Peter felt all right, so he didn't bother to go to him after a bit.
Yes, I'm afraid that would have been true in 1944 or 45. It's only in the past 10 to 15 years that drugs have been developed to help us in controlling this condition.
Oh, then there is something that can be done for my husband?
Mrs. Morris, I feel sure there is. You see, we have 2 jobs on our hands. To get your husband safely over the effects of the stroke. And that, of course, will take time, rest, and patience. And then we can work out, by trial methods, the best way to deal with the hypertension.
By, getting my husband over the effects of the stroke? Does that mean he'll be able to walk again? To get back the use of his arm and leg?
Physically, Mr. Morris is in very, very good shape. If he were 20 years older, I couldn't be so happy about the possibilities of his recovering completely. But I've seen many patients with a similar affliction to his return to a normal functional state.
What will it involve, Dr. Hoffman?
Well, rest and treatment, as I've already said. And we have a considerable rehabilitation section where your husband's limbs can be restored to normal movement. Then we'll get busy on controlling his blood pressure, which will be necessary to avoid a recurrence of his condition.
This will take quite a while, I imagine.
Several months, I expect, Mrs. Morris. Tell me, will that make it difficult for you financially?
Well, no, Dr. Hoffman.
Oh, good.
Peter's newspaper will keep him on full pay and then half pay for quite a long time, so money won't be any worry. My only concern is Peter's eventual recovery, however long it takes.
Of course, Mrs. Morris, but I'm sure it'll be a comfort to you to know that your husband, well, he'll be in the hands of Dr. Ian Reed. He's a specialist on cardiovascular diseases. Don't worry. Everything possible will be done for him.
Good morning, Mr. Morris. That's good. You're walking better every day.
Hello, Dr. Reed. It's a bit of an effort, but it's worth it.
How do you feel otherwise?
I must admire your patience, Doctor. You've asked me that every day for the past 2 weeks.
Only you can tell us what effect the various combinations of drugs that we have to use to reduce the hypertension are having.
Well, what are you giving me at the moment?
Do you really want to know, Mr. Morris?
I try to add to my education as I go along. Well, I suppose my news hound's nose has something to do with it as well.
And I fancy you're the type of patient who won't be frightened and will respond better when he knows what's going on. Well, Mr. Morris, your condition is of quite long duration. We've found that the use of thiazide diuretic isn't sufficient to relieve your hypertension on its own.
Now you've left me behind with your scientific names already.
It's fairly simple. A diuretic has the effect of, well, washing excess salts and fluids from the body. And this can sometimes control lesser cases of blood pressure.
So, what do you do now?
We've already taken the next step. In addition to the diuretic, you're getting a synthetic version of guanethidine, a drug that reduces the release of a powerful hormone into the bloodstream.
A hormone that did what? I mean, what does it do?
Well, it closes up the blood vessels and makes the heart pump harder to raise the blood pressure throughout the body.
So, by getting rid of unwanted fluids and salt and restricting the supply of stuff that makes my blood vessels close up, you hope to make my blood pressure normal.
Well, that's the theoretical side of it. Now, how do you feel?
All right when I'm sitting down, but I've got a tendency to feel dizzy when I stand up. Oh, and I'm pretty weak, too.
Well, it looks as if the diuretic is getting rid of the potassium that you need. We'll add potassium chloride to your diet and see how you get along then. Nurse tells me you've got some problem, Mr. Morris. How do you feel?
I'm a bit short of puff now, Dr. Reed. My legs and arm are fine, and I could get about fairly normally, but as soon as I'm active, my chest feels as if it's caught alight. Now, at this rate, I'll soon be a goner.
No, you won't, Mr. Morris. I think I know what to do for that.
But is it any good, Doctor? I've been in here for some months already, and it seems as soon as we get one thing right, something else goes wrong.
What we've got to achieve, Mr. Morris, is an ideal balance of drugs that will correct your original condition of severe hypertension and then deal with each of the side effects as they arise. Now, we'll manage it, don't you worry.
Well, Doctor, what are you going to use as a fire extinguisher this time?
We'll give you a daily dose of digitalis to make it easier for your heart to pump blood. Now, that should take away the burning sensation in your chest. And you'll find that reasonable exertion doesn't wind you.
And you really feel that with all this juggling about, you'll find a complete solution to my condition?
Oh, I'm sure of it. I think your present condition is quite an achievement, don't you?
Yeah. Sorry, Doctor. I suppose I'm overlooking the fact that when I came in here, I was partly paralyzed and in a chronic state with my blood pressure. Well, now at least I'm on my feet.
And we've brought your blood pressure readings down to a more normal figure.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I'm cured.
Not in the sense that without the correct dosage of drugs we're trying to achieve, it wouldn't recur. Because I'm afraid it would. But we will be able to control it and avoid its serious consequences. Now, that's something that wasn't possible when you were first told of your condition.
Yes, but will it be a solution that will enable me to do any of the things in my work and in my spare time that I did before, when I was working under pressure?
It seems you were working under pressure in two senses, one of which, your hypertension, certainly wasn't good for you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it won't be cured.
No, Mr. Morris. But we'll arrive at an adequate treatment to keep it under control. And that treatment must enable you to lead an ordinary sort of life if it's to be really successful. After all, we're not only here to keep you alive, but to help you to live.
Well, I think this is a happy conclusion to the time you've spent with us, Mr. Morris.
Dr. Hoffman, you and Dr. Reed here have really done so much for me. I don't know how to thank you.
You don't have to thank us. It always gives us a particular pleasure to be able to discharge a patient after a successful course of treatment.
I think that Mr. Morris deserves the excellent recovery that he's made. He certainly has been very patient.
I've been a patient, not always a very good one. Betty, that's my wife. She's helped a lot in listening to my complaints.
Well, anybody who's not well complains a bit. Isn't that fair, Dr. Hoffman?
Very true, Mrs. Morris. In fact, I'm one of the world's worst.
Well, that I don't believe.
All the same, Mr. Morris, with regard to yourself, you experienced and overcame quite a number of unpleasant effects. But how do you feel now?
Still the same old question, Dr. Reed. Do you know, I feel quite normal. Almost as if I could really get back into the thick of things again.
That's what we were hoping to hear, Mr. Morris. But in view of the slight weakness shown by the stroke, we would ask you not to overdo it for a while.
Oh, no, of course not, Dr. Hoffman.
Although I imagine it's going to be difficult trying to restrain him.
Well, Mr. Morris, just remember what I said about living a normal life, and do just that. I shall be very happy if you resume your usual activities.
Continuing with your treatment, of course.
Oh, of course.
Which is why I wanted to word with you in conjunction with Dr. Reed, who has worked it out for you, as you know. Now, for the past 2 weeks, you've been getting about the hospital without any apparent distress, and your blood pressure readings are that of a normal person.
Yes. It's been quite amazing, actually.
It's been very gratifying. And you had no unusual reaction of any kind?
No, none.
Good. Now, we've established your dosage of guanethidine, diuretic, potassium chloride, and digitalis at 10 assorted pills a day. Now, you will take them regularly. It's most important.
I'll take them, Dr. Hoffman. Wherever I am, I'll take them. But are they going to be expensive?
Fortunately not, Mr. Morris.
Oh, then I get a bit of a bonus as well, don't I? New health without paying the earth for it. Oh, but there's one thing I'd like to ask you about this hypertension of mine.
Well, certainly. If there's anything we can tell you.
Well, what's led to all this in the first place? Why have I got this complaint?
Shall I leave that explanation to you, Ian?
I wish you wouldn't, Dr. Hoffman. Because I have to confess to our patient that, well, I don't really know. Do you know whether your parents suffered from high blood pressure, Mr. Morris?
Well, the old man used to go a bit purple at times when he was angry, but well, both he and my mother are still going strong in their late 60s.
You see, it's thought that heredity may have something to do with it. But I'm afraid we can't put our finger on any one simple cause.
Well, I've learned a lot since I've been in hospital. And one of the things is that you never give up trying. Oh, you'll get hypertension by the leg for sure, one of these days.
I admit it's a bit extreme for Morris to want to do this, Melbourne. But I don't think we can do anything other than agree.
How long has it been now since he left the hospital, Ian?
Nearly a year. He came along each month for 6 months, and I've seen him once since, when I made a very slight adjustment to his dosage of digitalis.
Otherwise, everything was quite normal.
Oh, yes, I was very pleased with him.
Well, then, he'd better carry on, wouldn't you say?
I did tell him that we expected him to be able to follow a normal life once we had his hypertension under control.
Now, let's see. He was 210, 130 when he came in and after his stroke. Now he's a consistent 75 points below that.
Very steady.
Well, he must ensure he takes an adequate supply of drugs with him. You can't depend upon the medical aid organizations.
I'll stress that point with him.
All right, then. I wouldn't recommend news reporting in the Congo at the height of a civil war as the ideal rescuer, but, well, if he wants to go, he can go with our blessing.
Things
seem to be a bit busy this afternoon, Peter.
No, I've known it worse, Jim.
Well, so have I. That's what bothers me. I reckon it's going to get worse later.
Well, I can't help that. I've got to get this report finished and cabled off. Is the line still open?
Well, it was this morning. If you get it finished off, I'll cable it for you. I'm going over to the cable office.
Well, thanks. That'll be a big help. I won't be very long, and I'll give it to you. It'll save me a bit of a walk. What time is it, Jim?
2:30. And it's stifling with the sun at this altitude. Oh, I could do with a drink.
Yeah, so could I. It's pill time. With 10 of these to get down me, I could do with a nice glass of fresh, cold, clear water.
So could the rest of Stanleyville. The only place you can get trustworthy liquid of any sort is in the bar. And then it's stronger than water. Hey, what are the pills for, anyway?
Blood pressure. Condition I found I had when I tried to get into the army in the last war. I blew up about a year back, but since then I've been on these little jokers, and I've been okay. Touch wood.
Oh, that's all you have? You seem to have finished them.
Yeah, Jim. And I can't cart a ton of pills around in my pocket. I've got the others up in the bedroom. I get so used to them now I can swallow them without any liquid, so long as my mouth isn't too dry.
Oh, which mine is. Well, I'll see what the bar has to offer while you finish off that cable. Give me a shout when you finish, then I'll take it across the way.
Pressure on Stanleyville is increasing daily. It'll only be a matter of time before the town is overrun by opposing forces.
Hello, Peter. Finished?
Yeah, I think that about sums it up. Are you going straight away?
Oh, I'd better. I can't say just how much longer the telegraph lines will remain intact. No? The excitement has died down for a bit. I wonder why that is.
I don't know. But it's not the end of the war. Not if what I've written in my cable is correct.
Well, you don't believe what you read in those dispatches, do you? Oh, well, I'll be off while there's a lull. See you in a little while.
Can you hear aircraft, Jim?
What?
Aircraft. Can you see them?
Oh. Can hear them, though.
Hey, Jim! It's an air raid. Run for it! No, heck, I can't see anything but dust. Well, I reckon that last bomb got Jim. Jim! Hey, Jim! Jim! Jim, are you all right?
Shut up. I wanted to hear you.
Oh, I thought they got you.
No, they hadn't. But it wasn't for the want of trying. I've got a picket fence lying on my leg.
Oh, yeah. I'll drag it off you. Oh. Lift it up.
Hey, steady, Peter. Don't strain yourself and blow a gasket.
It's okay. Can you get out from underneath?
Yeah. But here they come again. Hey, you shower! Can't you see we're not in uniform?
Swanson, get your fool head down or you'll have it blown off.
Well, I've got to tell them what I think of them.
Strictly non-combatant, that's us.
Use wait until I write to my next report.
The public aren't interested in our troubles. We're paid to do this sort of thing.
What? Line the bottom of a dirty big bomb sinking of cordite, or whatever it smells of.
Yeah, that's right. And to think that I once wanted to join the army.
Well, that medico who snapped the pressure gauge in your arm and told you that the enemy needed men like you did you a favour.
Yeah, I didn't think so at the time. But this sort of thing lends conviction. And I needn't have bothered to finish off that report after all.
Why not?
The connection's broken now anyway. They got the cable office. I suppose that's what they were after.
And I can't say much for their aim. Look in the other direction. They got the hotel as well.
Oh, heck, so they have. It's well and truly on fire, too.
Oh, there's no mains water pressure here to put out that blaze.
Not likely, but... Oh, that's horrible.
They'll have mangled up your typewriter, something cruel.
It isn't my typewriter I'm bothered about. I can always use a pen, but my entire supply of pills has just gone up in smoke.
Oh, dear. Well, how often do you have to take that lot? Every day?
That's right. Haven't missed since I left hospital.
Oh, well, it's the lesser of two evils. It was either your pills or you. And while there's life, there's hope.
You're right. Say, Jim, this isn't a bad bomb hole you found.
There's a halfway house between a burning hotel and a wrecked telegraph office. It's not too bad, is it, Peter?
Yeah, and I'm really sorry for you having to live in it until you can get proper quarters fixed up.
Why only sorry for me? You're in the same bomb hole.
Yeah, I won't be for long. I've got medical reasons for being repatriated sharpish, huh? I'll be on the evening flight out.
Huh. And you wanted to join the army. Well, no wonder they wouldn't have you. read your report of the bombing of Stanleyville, Mr. Morris. You seem to have had an exciting time while you were there.
It had its moments, Dr. Reed. To tell you the truth, I wasn't sorry to leave.
I'm sure you weren't. Now, how long were you without the pills? From the time you were nearly blown up until when?
Oh, it was about 3 days altogether.
And how are you feeling?
Still the same old question, Doctor. I feel all right. But how's my blood pressure?
Very slightly high. If you weren't the sort of patient who likes to know the truth, I wouldn't even bother to mention it to you.
Oh, it's good then. But it hasn't gone haywire again. I was a bit concerned, but what can you do? If you haven't got the things to take, you have to put up with it.
Now, you've been leading a far more active life than I ever thought would have been possible when you first came to us.
Well, Doctor, this Congo business was overdoing it a bit, even as far as I was concerned.
But you coped.
I coped. Thanks to you.
And many others who worked on the things I gave you. But how did you feel when you were under bombardment?
Frightened to death.
Physically, I meant, not mentally.
Okay. No drama.
And you exerted yourself quite a bit, I fancy. Running and so on?
Oh, a couple of short, sharp sprints. More in self-preservation than anything else. Lifting a bit of weight now and then. But I didn't notice anything to worry about.
Then I think that's all we need bother about you, Mr. Morris. I fancy you'd pass an army medical now if you wanted to. At least from the hypertension point of view.
Then I'd have to find some other reason for not getting into khaki.
Well, of course, all that took place some years ago. And Peter Morris is not the only hypertension sufferer who's been given new life and new hope through proper medication for his condition. Many hundreds of thousands of others have benefited in the same way. But remember, 20 years ago, this would not have been possible.
Medical File, the documented story of the men and women who in hospitals, research centers, and lonely surgeries guard our lives. Listen again next week for another true story from Medical File. This is a true story taken from an actual medical file.
What happens when illness strikes and the cause is unknown, at least for a very long time? Tonight's story concerns a man who'd never suffered a day's illness in his entire life. A man who, in fact, scoffed at illness. That was rather foolish. After all, few people escape entirely, no matter how careful they are, no matter what they eat, wear, do for a living, no matter which country they live in or to where they travel. It's a very fortunate person indeed who goes through life entirely unmarked. Is such a person, in fact, fortunate at all? Life isn't designed as a bed of roses, and a serious illness will often stop one taking health for granted. I've called my story tonight, Hippocrates Said It.
Medical File. Factual stories of the men and women whose vigilance guards our lives. A reconstruction of clinical case histories, step by step with the doctors who were there. Medical File.
Julle was dol oor Springbok Top 40 volume 1. Nou op aanvraag. Hier is volume 2. Met 40 van jou beste allertydse Springbok radio nommer 1 treffers. As 'n spesiale bonus, 'n memorabilia CD met uittreksels van jou gunsteling stories en programme.
Wolwe dans in die skiewer.
Springbok Top 40 volume 2. Nou beskikbaar.
Die volgende klassieke advertensie van Springbok Radio se verlede kom met die vergunning van die Springbok Radio Bewaringsvereniging van Suid-Afrika.
Gee hom 'n delfin, 'n Switserse delfin, dis uiters betroubaar. Die haar delfindeskundig gemaak, so smaakvol en keurig vir haar. Kies 'n delfin nou, die tuberkulosie by die juwelier.
Want slegs 'n juwelier mag 'n delfin verkoop.
Kies 'n delfin nog vandag.
Splish, splash, the water hogs, splashing all day long. Using up the water, it's too late when it's gone. If you want to help them, this is what to do. Make sure the water hog is never, never you. Just make sure the water hog is never, ever you.
Harry? Harry!
Yes?
What did he say, eh? What did Dr. Llewellyn say?
Oh, it's nothing.
Yes, but what did he say? How do you feel now?
There's nothing wrong with me. Just, well, he said what I said. A bit of tummy upset's nothing to worry about. I think I'll just stay home this morning and...
Gastroenteritis. There's a lot of it about. Mrs. Paulson's nephew is...
your father, my foot. I've got a stomachache. Probably that stew last night.
Barry, there wasn't nothing wrong with that stew. All the greens came from Mrs. Anderson's allotment, and the meat was...
All right. Just leave me alone, will you? I'll be all right. I don't get sick. I've never been sick.
Oh, dear.
I'm not being sick now. It's mind over matter, there's a secret. Where's the paper? Hasn't the paper come? Look, I'll stay here this morning and I'll go in this afternoon. If you can pop next door and phone, I'll...
Oh, Barry, you're not well at all. I knew it. Didn't you tell Dr. Llewellyn about...
Janice, go away, will you?
Oh.
Just... I'll be all right.
That was mid-morning. In the afternoon, Mr. Brown started to feel warm, and by 3 o'clock, he was hot and shaky. Even he couldn't keep up the pretense any longer. With one last act of defiance, he went next door to call Dr. Llewellyn again, and then collapsed. The ambulance arrived at 3:25, and he was taken to Cheltenham General Hospital, the emergency ward. On arrival, he was delirious, and it required 5 people to hold him down.
I don't believe it.
The sooner you do believe it, the better.
Temperature's 108 Fahrenheit. There's white count 37,000.
Normal count's between 5 and 10, Sal. That's why you'd better believe it.
Aspirin, alcohol rubs, fans. And a refrigerating blanket. First and foremost, we've got to bring down the fever.
He's in shock, Doctor. Blood pressure 70/30. Central venous pressure of 0.
Over the next hour or so, I want him to receive plasma and salt water intravenously. He's losing a lot of fluid.
He's also severely acidotic. What the devil's the matter with him?
At this stage, Doctor, what's the matter with the man isn't even important.
He's always been the most well man you can think of.
He's never had malaria?
Oh, gracious, no.
You haven't travelled recently, perhaps. You haven't been out of England.
Neither of us has ever been out of England. Barry always said he didn't see the point. What is there anywhere else that England hasn't got more of? Barry's a great one for believing in England.
Yes. He's never been ill before, never been hospitalised?
No, never. Barry...
Yes, I see. Are his parents living?
His mother's dead, but his father's all right. He's nearly 70, Doctor, and he's never been ill either. The Browns are ever so strong, you know.
Does he smoke, Mrs. Brown, or drink?
No, neither. Barry says smoking and drinking are totally...
Thank you. Mrs. Brown, I'm going to have someone take care of you. You can stay here. You'll be informed.
Can I? Oh, thanks ever so much. I just wouldn't know what to do going home now.
The physical examination of Barry Brown was normal, except for a slightly distended abdomen and an enlarged liver. This could be felt below the rib cage. He was given heavy doses of antibiotics. X-rays of the chest and abdomen were normal. Electrocardiogram normal. In fact, all the clinical tests were normal.
If he's so blasted normal, why is he sick?
Left kidney's normal, but the right sluggish. Can't be bothered.
Diagnosed partial obstruction of the right kidney, then.
Dr. Savage's diagnosis is septicemia, generalized infection of the bloodstream. Source unknown.
Good old Savage. Put a name to it and everything's all right. It's a stinker, isn't it?
There are doctors who feel happier once they can put a label on a problem, and this needn't necessarily be a bad thing. However, the neurological consultants who saw the patient later on that first day weren't at all happy. They felt that Mr. Brown had suffered a primary infectious process with sudden outpouring of bacteria into the blood and consequent fever and prostration. A high fever in a child is not so worrying as it is in an adult. In adults, high fever, when prolonged, can result very easily in permanent brain damage and perhaps death. Infection, that's the commonest cause of fever. But what had Mr. Brown been doing? What had infected him? And how? Where? And when?
Well, presumably he has an infection. And, gentlemen, the treatment of infectious disease is one of the triumphs of modern medicine. So, Waller will be here by 8, gentlemen. He was up in Middleton golf tournament. First break in weeks, down to hard luck. I think we'll need his help here.
Dr. Waller arrived, hot and flushed, and understandably a little angry too. After all, doctors are only human. He was quite convinced the golf title would have been his, and after collecting the cup, he'd been looking forward to a little trout fishing in the River Test in Hampshire.
Well, your antibiotic cocktail, gentlemen, hasn't done much at all, has it?
We realize that you're overworked, Doctor, and we realize, too...
That's all irrelevant, Mr. Piers. I frown upon the mixture of antibiotics you've employed.
Yes, but...
Just one moment. The use of antibiotics is more sophisticated now than it was when I was young. Long strides have been taken in 20 years, but...
Doctor, we are, I'm afraid, working to a large extent in the dark. It was necessary
The mixture might not eliminate the primary cause of infection, but it will certainly kill all free bacteria in the blood. Therefore, the identification of the organism is quite impossible. Without identification, we cannot treat specifically... by the way, the wife was asked, naturally, whether the patient has travelled abroad recently. Yes, of course, naturally.
Mr. Brown's fever is in itself dangerous. It constituted a medical emergency, Doctor. Our first duty was to lower that fever by every possible means.
Well, he could have died, sir, while we were waiting for the cultures to grow out.
It all comes back to Hippocrates, really, doesn't it? Does one treat with a grave remedy or a specific one? Well, we chose a grave remedy, a strong antibiotic cocktail.
We did this with full knowledge that it might impair future...
Well, let us see how Mr. Brown is now.
I could work up a healthy dislike for that man.
No, you couldn't. He's a genius. And genius has laws, gentlemen, to itself.
Make no mistake, doctors do disagree, and become heated. Emotions do figure, they must, because doctors aren't robots. Let's see, then, how the great fever man found our patient.
We were awfully relieved when he survived the first night, sir. We got his temperature down to 99, but he remained terribly agitated. We've terrible problems oxygenating his blood.
Yes. Abdomen still soft. No indications for surgery. Reduce his dose of tranquilizer.
He's still confused, disorientated, sir. His progress since admission, though, I think you must agree, is striking, sir.
Yes, it's striking, Doctor. Mr. Brown? Mr. Brown, where are you?
The hospital.
And what's your Christian name, Mr. Brown?
Barry.
And how old are you?
49.
Let us jump several days now. It's now 6 days since Barry Brown was admitted to the Cheltenham Hospital. He continues to improve. although his mental function is far from satisfactory.
Mr. Brown, what is 1 plus 1?
1.
And 2 plus 2?
5.
Open your eyes. Squeeze my hand, please, would you?
He lies there for most of the time with his eyes closed. He never speaks unless he's spoken to.
He's never had a day's illness in his whole life. So unfair. Why should this happen now? We were going to the Lake District on the 4th.
Mental condition's definitely improving. Oh, by the way, the repeat kidney X-ray read is normal. He's got no fever now. I think we're going through and looking at the other side.
Discontinue his chloramphenicol antibiotic. And see if he remains without fever. Good morning. Good morning. What news of Mr. Brown?
Morning, Doctor. The temperature's spiked upwards again to 102, and the tenderness in the right upper abdomen's reappeared. He's been off antibiotics for 2 days.
Damn.
Looking for space to hang and dry your washing? Washline distributors have the solution. Their rotating and fold-down wash lines take up the smallest spaces. Ideal for townhouses, simplexes and balconies at affordable prices. Galvanized or powder-coated and available in 5 different colors. For 24-hour delivery, installation, reliable and friendly service, phone Washline Distributors on 011 792 2486. That's 011 792 2486. Wash lines for every space and need.
Die volgende klassieke advertensie van Springbok Radio se verlede kom met die vergunning van die Springbok Radio Bewaringsvereniging van Suid-Afrika.
Hou van jou, dit weet jy gewis. Met Rexona.
Op die warmste, woeligste dag bly ek fris en vars, seker dat ek aangename geselskap is. Want kyk, ek bad met nuwe Rexona, die seep wat skoon anders is. Net Rexona bevat Triodin, wat voltyds aan die werk bly om jou geheel en al fris te hou.
Frisheid is 'n nooi se beste maat. Joune ook met Rexona, die seep wat sorg dat almal altyd van jou hou.
Days. The surgeons, Mr. Waller included, had decided that Barry Brown had cholecystitis, or infection of the gallbladder.
I'm wondering whether he might have liver abscess as well.
Back onto antibiotics, Mr. Waller?
Yes. Oh, give him your blasted... Dr. Piers, you're quite right, forgive me. Yes, of course.
I'm beginning to like him tremendously.
I've still got to be convinced.
His mental state seems to be clearing. And today, I want the neurological consultant to see him, see if he agrees.
The tenderness in the abdomen's disappeared again.
The antibiotics. The X-rays are poor, I thought. So did Waller.
Yeah, good enough, though, to show there's no filling of the bladder sac. Radioactive scans of the liver and spleen are negative, too.
Oh, I promised to telephone Mrs. Brown. She isn't quite sure what's going on. She's very worried. I'm not being unkind, but the seat of her worry seems to lie in the fact that they were due for 2 weeks' holiday. Yeah. Well, with luck they'll get it, although a bit later than the 4th.
What now, gentlemen, do I hear you ask?
I hate to keep on quoting Hippocrates.
Yes, Doctor.
Well, we scheduled an op, but we've cancelled to allow time for some more pre-operative studies. No tumour's been found. Patient's made a good recovery from the study of the vessels. Oh, so far, so good. Hippocrates did say to do nothing is sometimes a good remedy.
Dr. Piers, look after that young man. He's valuable.
well, anyway.
For extreme diseases, extreme remedies. For grave diseases, the most exact therapy is best. I shall look after you, Doctor.
ever so well, Dr. Pierce. I really could,
First of all, Mrs. Brown, a diagnosis is drawn up on two kinds of knowledge.
Drawn out?
Yes. The physician's concept of what the disease is.
But you don't know.
Well, we can't say for sure yet, but we're getting closer. The physician's concept of what the disease is, plus his available therapies. You see, in a modern sense, Mrs. Brown, precise diagnosis is required because precise therapies are available. Now, Mrs. Brown, I know it's going to be all right. Now, please believe that.
But, I mean, why can't you tell me what he's got?
Well, we're not... We think... Oh, shall I say we believe it's infection of the gallbladder, but we don't want to be more specific at this point.
Well, everybody keeps asking me, you see, and well, I feel so stupid saying I'm not sure what Barry's in for. Well, I mean, it's just a bit stupid,
Yes,
you know.
quite.
Do you know how long it's been now?
Yes, of course I do, Mrs. Brown, 26 days.
Yes, well, that's nearly a month.
Yes, Mrs. Brown. Look, we're going to stop the antibiotics today. We want to see if the fever and symptoms return. At the moment, as you saw for yourself this morning, he's quite well and, well, there's no fever. This morning he was still on chloramphenicol. This will stop now.
Will he start to get bad again? Because if he does start to get bad again, wouldn't it be better...
Mrs. Brown, he can't live on chloramphenicol for the rest of his life.
Oh, I suppose not. No. Can you imagine what all this would have cost, you know, when you have to pay yourself?
Yes, Mrs. Brown, I do understand.
I bet Barry won't moan about his insurance stamp each week after this lot. He always begrudged it, you know. Always used to moan about it. I suppose you have to pay as well, don't you? I mean, even doctors and things have to pay, yes. Although he has paid for, 25 years and hasn't used it really yet, except for penicillin for me, because I had my tonsils done, so I suppose we are entitled.
Yes, I guarantee, Mrs. Brown, you are entitled. Yes. Well, I won't keep you any longer.
Oh, yes, I was just going to say. You must have things to do, yes. Barry and that, yeah. Well, I hope everything's all right because, well, I do really love him and I realise things were getting, you know, a bit sort of silly and mechanical and I didn't do things for him and everything. I don't know. All those years with the children, they sort of sat me, you know.
Yes, Mrs. Brown. I know exactly what you mean.
Well, thanks ever so for all you've, you know, well, you've been nice.
I'll ring you tonight, Mrs. Brown.
Yes, please. You've got the number, haven't you?
Yes.
This isn't our house. This is next door. Anyway, you've got the number and they'll pop round.
Yes, of course, Mrs. Brown.
So we wait and see. Personally, I believe he'll continue to do well without the antibiotics.
Watchful waiting.
Yes. Who is that young doctor?
Davies?
Bright. Very bright. Let's hope he remains. Most of them seem to disappear into practice these days.
Yeah, well, so somebody's got to do that, haven't they? Now, I got the impression that his wife feels we aren't doing enough, despite despite some people's feelings about operations. They feel at least something is being done, whereas, well...
I suppose your socialistic leanings, Dr. Pierce, prevented you from saying, despite the working classes' fear of operations, etc., etc.
For pity's sake.
I'm an out-and-out capitalist. I've led a good life, and I realize my position in society, and I've worked hard and reaped the benefits. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in the equality of men at all, Dr. Pierce. I know more, and therefore I'm paid more, QED. Although I should hesitate to argue the point with your fervent young Dr. Davies. I like the new breed of physician, even if he does seem vastly different to those who sweated and strained when I was a student. What time is it? Let's go to the ward. Do you know, I have a feeling I might get some trout fishing after all.
White cell count remains normal. It seems good, Dr. Pierce.
Yes, indeed. Do you think we've made it then, Mr. Brown?
I feel fine, Doctor. I'd like to go home.
Yes, well, we'll have to see about that, Mr. Brown. But if things continue as they are, I don't see why you should be up about...
How long do you suppose, then,
Well, you see, 6 days, possibly 5.
I've missed our holiday then, completely. I thought we might get a last couple of days or something, even if we just stayed at home.
Oh, you're going to have a holiday, Mr. Brown, definitely. And more than a fortnight, too. Yes. I'm afraid... Well, I'm not afraid. I'm delighted to tell you that you're going to take a complete rest.
Well, you see, I've never been sick before. I suppose it wouldn't be too much to ask my boss, so after all...
It certainly wouldn't. You go away, Mr. Brown. Where you were going anyway?
Oh, I don't know if we can get in there now. Now, I suppose. Well, something could be arranged. I feel a bit bad cheating poor Janice like that. She works hard, you know. I sometimes, not always, sort of, you know. I don't always appreciate her. Take her for granted.
Yes, I know.
So if everything's all right then, I feel marvellous, actually.
Barry Brown, who'd never been sick before, did continue to improve. He was, in fact, taken off antibiotics on the 27th day. Temperature and white cell count were normal. The patient himself, as you've heard, in good spirits, and thinking a bit more perhaps than he'd done for a long time. On the 28th day, there was no worsening of the patient's condition. Janice Brown told Dr. Pearce that her husband's mental state now appeared completely normal. And the day following, his condition remained stable. He said he felt well, and there was no elevation in white count. Exactly a month after the first day he had collapsed while phoning Dr. Llewellyn, Barry Brown was very, very happy. In fact, he was a far happier person than when he'd first been admitted to the Cheltenham Hospital. It was now quite clear that he wasn't an operative candidate. Plans were made for his discharge. On the 31st day, he was discharged, although warned to take it very easily. And the diagnosis was fever of unknown origin with bacterioids septicemia. The opinion of the house staff and, incidentally, of Dr. Waller remained that Mr. Brown had a bile-collecting system infection. It isn't easy, is it? Wave a broken leg at a doctor, and of course he knows exactly what's wrong. It's the same with measles, flu, even some very obscure diseases. But there are other, seemingly simple conditions which do defeat even the most advanced medical man. One thing is certain, though.
He hadn't received treatment, he would have died within 24 hours. He got vital symptomatic therapy, and we lowered his fever. I mean, that temperature of 108 with all those white blood cells. 37,000 of them. Phew.
Yeah, the diagnosis work out there didn't provide us with much information, did it?
Granted, we had to do it. And although it didn't provide as much information as we would have liked, we were doing something. This gave us the chance to listen to Hippocrates' ghost. To do nothing. We might have found something.
Yeah, it's queer to think, though.
What?
Well, when he was discharged, not one single doctor at the hospital really knew what was going on.
True, O King. But...
Oh, you live on butts.
Yeah, I was just going to say we saved his life. Fundamentally, that's what matters in the long run, isn't it? What's the point of knowing exactly, textbook perfect, what's wrong? Writing a thesis on it and...
Having the poor beggar die on the operating table. Yes, agreed.
Mr. Barry Brown, who before his illness was bored with his work and with his wife, was fond of boasting that illness never touched him. Well, now made aware of his very vulnerable mortality, Mr. Brown took himself and his wife off for a late holiday to the Lake District, and enjoyed it more than he'd ever enjoyed anything in his life. And on returning home, promptly retired. He sold his house and bought instead a small piece of ground in the country, rebuilt a tumble-down cottage. The last I heard of him, he was planning to learn to speak French, raise poultry for eggs, and maybe one day, if things worked out, go on his first trip abroad. Can illness help the human being to develop, spiritually as well as physically? I believe so.
Medical File, the documented story of the men and women who in hospitals, research centers, and lonely surgeries guard our lives. Listen again next week for another true story from Medical File. This is a true story taken from an actual medical file.
To introduce our story this evening, I'd like you to meet a colleague of mine, Dr. Walter Simon.
It's always been a mystery to me why so many people postpone indefinitely a visit to their doctor when suffering pain and discomfort. Most pain needs medical attention, especially a pain which recurs regularly, causing the patient inconvenience and distress. When an early visit to the doctor will ensure that the condition is diagnosed, treated, and eventually cured, it is senseless to delay. The wisdom of seeking medical advice immediately one feels something may be wrong is illustrated very clearly by an experience which befell a colleague of mine.
Medical File. Factual stories of the men and women whose vigilance guards our lives. A reconstruction of clinical case histories, step by step with the doctors who were there. Medical File.
Is that you, Fred? Fred, where are you?
In the bathroom, Alice.
Oh, dear, I'm coming. Are you all right?
I got up to mix a dose of this powder you got for me.
You're in pain, aren't you?
Aye, yeah, a little.
Oh, Fred Coleman, tell the truth. It's bad, I can see. Oh, I do wish you'd go to the doctor.
If it keeps on like this, I think I shall have to.
Look, let me ring up the works in the morning and tell them that you won't be in tomorrow. I'll make an appointment for you to see Dr. Bright. Oh, please, Fred, let me do that.
Very well, lass. If you think it'll do any good, I'll go.
Fred Coleman presented himself at his doctor's surgery the following day.
Come in, Mr. Coleman. Come in and sit down.
Thank you, Doctor.
Now, let me see. Yes. Your wife rang up and said you've been having a great deal of stomach pain. Is that right?
That's right, Doctor. Yes, sir. I want you to put the rule over me and find out what the trouble is.
Well, how long have you been suffering with this pain?
About 2 months now. Nothing I do seems to make any difference.
What have you been doing about it?
Well, Alice thinks it's indigestion. She's very careful what I eat. Steamed fish, milk puddings, things like that. Oh, and I've been taking a white powder she got from the chemist.
I see. And you still have the pain?
Yes, sometimes worse than others.
Uh-huh. Just when is it worse, can you tell me?
Well, Friday nights I go to the local. I play darts with the boys, have a few beers. You know how it is. I have to pay for that, I can tell you.
I see. And at any other times?
Well, I know this sounds daft, Doctor. But if I'm pushed at work, if there's a rush on, or my shop is behind schedule, anything like that, I usually suffer. The pain just comes whether I eat or not.
Uh-huh. Well, we'll have a look at you, Mr. Coleman, and see what we can find. Just lie down on the couch, will you?
Blimey.
What is it?
I've just remembered there's an important meeting at the works this morning. My boss will blow his top when he finds out I'm not there.
Well, would you like my nurse to ring them for you?
No, thank you, Doctor. Alice has already told him I shan't be there this morning. She's explained that I would...
Where did you say Coleman was, Miss Parsons?
His wife phoned to report him sick, Mr. Hamilton. He's seeing his doctor this morning.
Oh, that's all I need. Surely he knows that his opinion on the new layout is vital for the meeting this morning. No sense of responsibility. That's one of the troubles with staff today, running off sick for some trivial little thing. They're all the same. All right, Miss Parsons, what's next?
I had a call from the agent at the docks. The consignment of machine parts from Rotterdam is held up, Mr. Hamilton.
Held up? Held up? What the blazes does he mean by that? Hand me that phone, I'll give him held up.
I don't think that will do any good. There's a wildcat strike started down there yesterday afternoon. Our goods are still in the ship's hold.
Do you understand what this means, Miss Parsons? No, of course not. You wouldn't, would you? It isn't your department, is it? But you tell me what I'm going to say to the directors of that company when they... Oh, here we go again. It's worse than ever. This
You're
is
in pain
unbearable.
again, Mr. Hamilton. Where are your tablets?
In that drawer.
Here?
That's it. 2 of them in a glass of water, please.
There you are. 2 tablets in water. Now drink it up.
This usually does the trick. Oh, haven't I enough to worry about without this confounded pain?
Why didn't you see a doctor, Mr. Hamilton?
A doctor? Not likely. I haven't been to a doctor for 20 years. I haven't time for one thing.
I think you should have treatment for that pain before it's too late.
What? Too late? What do you mean, too late? It's only indigestion, Miss Parsons. I can deal with it.
Can you? Now, what have you eaten this morning to give you indigestion?
Well, nothing. Nothing at all. I didn't have any breakfast. Just a cup of black coffee.
And a cigarette. And approximately 16 cigarettes since then. I know you live alone, and I don't want to pry, Mr. Hamilton, but, well, who cooks your food?
How should I know? There's an excellent restaurant in the building where my flat. I usually go there.
And for lunch you have nothing, unless I get you a sandwich.
I have a good meal in the evening.
And then you can't sleep because of the stomach pains.
How do you know that? Now, what are you doing with that phone?
I'm making an appointment for you to see my doctor as soon as possible.
Well, that's ridiculous. You know very well I'm leaving this afternoon for the International Trade Fair. I can't cancel all the arrangements now.
The trade fair will still be on next week. I'll have all your bookings transferred.
How dare you, Miss Parsons? You're impossible. You're an interfering old busybody.
Relax,
and I think...
Relax, Mr. Hamilton. I'm not concerned with what you think. What I'm doing is for your own good. Hello? Hello? Dr. Bright's surgery? Good morning, sister. This is Jenny Parsons. I want to make an appointment. No, not for myself.
Well, that's all. Now, come over here, Mr. Coleman. Sit down. Tell me, do you smoke?
No, Doctor, I never have.
Good.
Well, what's the verdict, then? I'm not, seriously ill, am I?
Well, you have all the symptoms of a duodenal ulcer.
Oh,
but,
dear, I didn't know it was as bad as that.
I don't think it's very far advanced. From what I can see, we should be able to control it with medication and diet. But we shall have to have some tests made to establish exactly what we are up against.
Then I won't have to have an operation.
I'll be surprised if we find anything as bad as that. If you tried to carry on, then perhaps it might have been a different story, but you've come to me in the early stages. That's very wise, Mr. Coleman, very wise indeed.
Well, it was Alice made me come. She's outside in the waiting room. Will you tell her about me? I know she's anxious.
Oh, by all means. Call her in and we can have a useful little chat.
Oh, thank you. Alice, Doctor wants to see you.
Oh dear. Good morning, Doctor.
Come right in, Mrs. Coleman. Don't look so worried. I haven't got any bad news for you.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. I was beginning to wonder. Fred's been in here such a long time.
Well, you just sit down. Now, I'm glad you're here. We can decide what's the most convenient time for him to go to hospital.
Hospital? Oh, dear, I thought you said...
Only for tests, Mrs. Coleman. Your husband is suffering from a duodenal ulcer. That's in the early stages, I'm happy to say, and we'll deal with it successfully, but he'll have to undergo some tests. They'll probably need him for one night in hospital.
What tests are these, Doctor?
Well, first of all, they'll give you a barium meal, and then we'll x-ray you and see the barium as it travels along your digestive tract.
Oh, I've heard of that.
This procedure is a great help in arriving at a precise diagnosis. Then they may decide on a gastroscopy if they think it necessary.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Well, it's not really. No, we'll give him a general anesthetic and put an instrument into his stomach which lights up and shows us the ulcer. And that way we know exactly what we're dealing with. Now, when do you think it'd be a convenient time for you to go into St. Mary's Hospital? There's no hurry for a week or so. Meantime, we'll put you off work.
Patients with ulcers crop up with unfortunate regularity in doctors' surgeries all over the world, but most frequently in countries where competition in commerce and industry is at a high level. Certainly, one of the causes of this condition is unsuitable food or irregular meals, but by far the chief reason for gastric or duodenal ulcers is stress, and the results of this are found more frequently in men than in women. The patient's temperament can be an important factor in the development of an ulcer. Constant anxiety and worry can so affect the condition of the stomach walls as to make it possible for the digestive juices to eat into the tissues, providing the perfect site for an ulcer. Treated in the early stages, ulcers may be controlled, even cured, but if left, the condition is much more difficult to eradicate and, neglected, can prove fatal. It was with some anxiety that Miss Parsons rang Dr. Bright's surgery late the following afternoon.
Yes, nurse. Put Miss Parsons through. Good afternoon, Jenny.
Oh, Dr. Bright, I do apologize for worrying you, but I want some help.
Why, Jenny, what's the trouble?
It's my boss, Mr. Hamilton. I made an appointment for him to see you. You know about that?
Yes, but he didn't keep the appointment.
Oh, dear. I was afraid he wouldn't.
Well, what's happened?
He's missing, Dr. Bright. We can't get any reply on the phone, and no one has seen him, and he's a very sick man. I'm sure of that. What do you think I should do?
Well, perhaps he's gone on a business trip and forgotten to let you know.
Mr. Hamilton would never do that. He was due to fly to Birmingham yesterday afternoon, but I cancelled all the arrangements. He's just not fit to go. He's ill. Oh, I'm sure he's lying suffering with no one to help him. And perhaps it... Well, I think I should go to his flat.
Well, would you like me to come with you and make inquiries on the spot?
Oh, thank you. He keeps a spare set of keys in the office. Shall I bring those?
Yes, do that, Jenny, and I'll call for you right away. Here we are. Now, which way is 109? 107, 108. This must be it. I got the key there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no one here.
Look in the bedroom, Doctor.
Mm-hmm. There's no one here either. That'll be the bathroom. Let's see. Oh, there he is. You're right, Jenny. No, don't come in. Wait a minute. Well, he's still alive. Ring for the ambulance. Tell him it's an emergency. Hurry, Jenny, hurry.
Dr. Bright had half expected to find Peter Hamilton unwell and confined to his flat, but he was not prepared for the scene which now met his eyes. Hamilton was lying unconscious against the bath in a pool of blood. A quick examination proved that he was alive, but only just. On being transferred to the ambulance, the patient stirred and showed signs of returning consciousness. After arriving at the hospital and being admitted to casualty, he opened his eyes.
Where? What's going on?
It's all right, Mr. Hamilton. Everything's going to be all right. You just relax and we'll take care of you.
I feel dreadful.
Well, you'll soon be much more comfortable. Just relax. Let them look after you. Don't fight it. We'll come and see you tomorrow. There he goes. He's in good hands now, Jenny. We've done all we can.
Dr. Bright? But will he be here tomorrow?
Of course he will. Why not?
With all that blood.
Now you sit down here for a while, Jenny. Sister's going to bring us a cup of tea. Now, would you like me to explain about the hematemosis, the bleeding?
Oh, yes, please.
My diagnosis is that Hamilton's been suffering from a gastric ulcer for some time and doing nothing about it.
Yes.
Pressure, tension, unsuitable food, smoking and drinking. Even moderate drinking is bad for this condition. Now, all these things have done their work, and now the ulcer is, well, it started to bleed. That's where the blood has come from. It's probably still bleeding. We must hope that it hasn't perforated the stomach wall.
Dear, I did try to help him. I really did, but he's such a stubborn man.
He lives alone.
Yes, but I don't think he has many friends. I believe he belongs to a bridge club. What are they going to do for him, Doctor?
Well, first of all, I'll examine him carefully to diagnose the condition accurately. I'm afraid I haven't been able to help him at all because I've never seen him professionally. I couldn't make any examination this afternoon. He's conscious, but whether he can answer their questions is rather doubtful. They'll give him intravenous fluids, glucose. They may give him plasma, and after they've cross-matched, I expect they'll give him blood transfusion. Then they may have to operate.
Oh? What for?
Partial gastrectomy. That means the surgeon may take away the part of the stomach where the ulcer's sited.
Is he strong enough for an operation?
He's in intensive care at the moment, and they have all the facilities there to gauge his reactions to anesthesia and so on. Here's our tea.
Oh.
Come on, drink this, Jenny. Thank you, nurse. You've had a shock, too, and we mustn't have you ill as well.
Fred, you're wanted on the phone.
Hi, come in. Hello? Yes? I see. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't imagine the boss being ill. I'm going into hospital myself next week sometime to have some tests. I should be back to work immediately after. Anyway, thanks for letting me know. Bye.
What is it, Fred?
Well, that was a factory. Mr. Hamilton's been taken to hospital. Seriously ill, they said. Oh, he won't take kindly to being a patient, I can tell you.
It might have been you seriously ill if you hadn't gone to the doctor, Fred.
I know that, my girl. If it hadn't been for you, I might have been in the operating theatre now.
Swab, please.
Doctor?
Thank you, sister. You will notice, gentlemen, that I have incised the lower portion of the stomach where the ulcer was sited. Nasty thing. Very nasty. In my opinion, another few hours, we should have had a case of peritonitis on our hands. Yes, indeed. Now, why can't people come to us in reasonable time, eh? Now, why can't they do that? Give us a chance to save their lives. Swab. Now, this patient has a 50-50 chance. He's very weak. He'll need careful nursing. Oh, very careful. And afterwards, if he survives, he'll need discipline if he's to live a normal life. Definitely discipline. However, we've done our best in the circumstances, gentlemen. We must leave him to his own recuperative powers and common sense, if he has any. Now, I'm leaving him about half his stomach. Just about half, yes. I finished stitching it up. You can take over, Doctor.
Yes, Dr. Bright, you and the lady can see Mr. Hamilton, but only for a very few minutes now.
Oh, that's all right, sister. We understand.
Good. Ward 10, down the passage.
Thank you. Oh, come along, Jenny. He may not be able to speak to us, but he'll know we're here and interested in how he is. Now, that is important in a case like this.
I suppose so. He'll be very weak?
Possibly, but, they can counter these things today with fluids given intravenously, drugs and tranquilizers. Patients recover after surgery much more quickly than they used to. Here we are. Let's go in. Oh, hello, Mr. Hamilton. I'm Dr. Bright, and here's Miss Parsons come to see you.
Good morning, Mr. Hamilton. I brought you some flowers.
Why, thank you. Good morning to both of you. Dr. Bright, I was coming to see you. How long ago was it?
Oh, never mind. You were very ill, but thanks to Miss Parsons, we found you, and everything's under control.
Miss Parsons always does the right thing, Doctor. How about the office? How's it going?
Very smoothly, Mr. Hamilton. They've sent Mr. Baker from head office to do your work with Mr. Wright to help him, and Mr. Williams is there as well. 3 men to take your place. What do you think of that?
I think I was a fool to try and do it all myself.
Well, you worked and worried yourself into a serious illness, Mr. Hamilton, but you're on the road to recovery now. Are you comfortable?
I should be if it weren't for all these tubes. But they'll be taking this one away soon. So they tell me. I hope so, anyway.
Oh, in good time. Well, we must be leaving now, Sister's orders. But we'll come again.
You will? Tomorrow?
Aye.
I shall look forward to that.
Right, tomorrow. And I'll bring you something to read. I know the kind of books you like. Goodbye for now. Oh, dear. How ill he looks.
Well, that's to be expected. You notice how much more relaxed he is.
Doctor, what's that tube in his nose?
Oh, that's called a nasogastric tube, Jenny. It's aspirated every hour or so to draw away any substance from around the wound which shouldn't be there. It's a tremendously helpful device.
Yes, but uncomfortable, though. When will he be able to do without it?
Well, directly the wound heals. That may take a little while. Hamilton was in a bad state when we brought him in, He probably owes his life to you, Jenny.
Please, Doctor, promise me one thing. Just don't ever tell him that, please.
I'll promise no such thing. Come on, cheer up now. It won't be long before he's on the mend and taking nourishment. And that's something you're going to do now this minute. You haven't eaten since this drama began, have you?
How did you know that?
Intuition. Now, come along now. I prescribe a light luncheon with perhaps a glass of burgundy and some amusing conversation. That's Doctor's orders.
This way, Mr. Coleman. What a lovely morning, to be sure.
Aye, lovely for you, sister. What about the poor patient?
Come, Mr. Coleman. You're only here for a barium meal and x-rays. That's nothing at all, really.
I'll take your word for that. Are you busy?
We're always busy at St. Mary's. Here we are. Now, we put you in a semi-private ward, Mr. Coleman. Just one other gentleman recovering from an operation.
Oh, aye.
Right. Now, come on in. Now, I want you to get ready for bed and wait for the doctor. He'll be in to see you in a few minutes.
Aye.
Morning, Mr. Hamilton. You're having company this morning. This is Mr. Coleman. He's in for x-rays.
You could have knocked me down with a feather when I walked in and saw you in that bed, Mr. Hamilton. Never so surprised in my life.
Certainly it's a coincidence. How do you feel this morning?
Champion. Never better. I'm off home directly this senior doctor has checked my x-rays.
You seem to have got off pretty lightly, Fred. I had a much harder time of it. It'll be weeks before I get back home, if you can call it that.
I don't understand, Mr. Hamilton. Haven't you...
No,
don't you...
I never married, Fred. I was too busy. My parents died when I was a small boy, and the only living relative I have now is a brother I never see. He's halfway across the world. I've got nothing to go home to but an empty flat.
Oh, that's bad. Look, I'll tell you what. Why don't you come and stay with us for a week or two when you get out of here? It's not grand, but Alice is a wonderful cook, and she'd make you very welcome.
Do you know, Fred, that's the first time in many, many years anyone has offered to do anything for me. I don't know what to say.
Oh, now, Mr. Hamilton, I'm sure that's not true. What about Miss Parsons, your secretary? She always seems to be doing something for the boss, as she calls you. Maybe you haven't noticed.
Maybe I haven't, Fred. Perhaps I never appreciated all she does do. I should have said thank you sometimes, but I never did.
Hello, both of you. How is everything this morning?
Oh, Jenny. Good morning to you.
Morning, Miss Parsons.
How did everything go for you yesterday, Mr. Coleman? Okay?
Oh, fine, thank you. I'll be off home just now when the doctor's seen me.
Well, that's marvellous. And here's some goodies for you, Mr. Hamilton. Grapes.
Oh.
You can have them if you don't eat the skins. And peaches. We'll peel them for you.
Oh, I'm being spoiled. Thank you for it, Jenny.
Well, what did you have for breakfast?
I've progressed to a poached egg on toast. Much better than Sid mush, I can tell you.
Doctor was right behind me. He's coming in to see you.
Oh, Dr. Bright?
Yes. I do hope you'll let him look after you when you leave here, Mr. Hamilton. You know, it was...
Peter, please.
I beg your pardon?
Peter, it's my name, Jenny. I'm tired of hearing you say Mr. Hamilton. Let's drop that, shall we?
Well, yes, if you wish, of course.
I do wish, Jenny.
But not in business hours. As long as you're here, perhaps, but it would never do in the office.
Oh, well, two patients sitting up taking notice. I see you're dressed to go home, Fred. Feeling all right?
I'm not ill, Doctor. I've only come in as a guinea pig.
Don't you believe it? You're still under my care. And you'd better do as I say, or you'll have those pains again, I can promise you.
Then Alice will stop my Friday nights.
Uh-oh? What's all this about Friday night?
Oh, only a game of darts with the boys and a few beers, Miss Parsons, nothing more.
Well, you cut out the beer, Fred. I suppose the darts won't hurt you. I'll let Alice have your diet sheet, and you do as she says. How's that?
Back to square one. I always have done as Alice says, all the years we've been married.
So, you're due to go home today, Peter. How do you feel?
Marvellous. Never felt so fit in my life.
Well, it's the routine here in the hospital, Peter. No worry, simple food, regular sleep. Now, please try and keep it that way.
Dr. Bright's had a talk with me. Here's my diet sheet. No spices, no curry, no skins or pips, no fried food. I'm going to miss the steak and chips.
Oh, well, grilled steak and creamy mashed potatoes can be just as good. Go on.
No alcohol. He's given me a list of what I can have. I shan't starve, but it's going to be difficult eating in a restaurant. I must learn to cook for myself.
Well, I'll teach you. I'm keen on cooking.
Jenny, why are you so kind to me? I'm afraid I haven't been very appreciative all these years.
Oh, please, Peter, there's no need for...
Let me go on. I've taken your work for worse. I've taken you for granted, Jenny. And I want to apologize.
There's no need, Mr. Hamilton, really. No need for any apologies.
But there is, Miss Parsons. I called you an interfering, impossible busybody. Jenny. Dear Jenny, can you ever forgive me?
Well, you hurry up and get well, and we'll see, Peter. We'll see.
Although Peter Hamilton had neglected his health to the point of endangering his life, he completely recovered from his ulcer and was eventually able to eat and drink most things in moderation. Also, he learnt to relax. In this, he was greatly helped by his wife, Jenny. Yes, a few months later, they were married, and she made his home gracious and happy, the first home Peter had known since he was a little boy. So the moral to this story is to take life easily. Do what you can about the difficulties that arise, and then stop worrying. Be moderate in all things. Relax and enjoy yourself. Well, no man could ask for more. And if illness should come your way, go and see a doctor without delay.
Medical File, the documented story of the men and women who in hospitals, research centers, and lonely surgeries guard our lives. Listen again next week for another true story from Medical File.